the Miami Hurricanes talked the talk and walked the walk with the very best. They won Heisman trophies, sent stars to the pros, and won 3 national titles. But probation sent this program reeling. Now they say the swagger is back in South Florida. The Ohio State Buckeyes have put their stamp on the 90s. No team plays with more talent. 15 first-round draft choices this decade. The Buckeyes give their fans their money's worth. Coach John Cooper has smelled the roses and tasted the sugar. But a year ago, 1 interception cost him a chance to play for a national title. Next year starts today. Michael Wiley is ready to become the next great Buckeye running back. He'll take dead aim at the Heisman. Miami quarterback Kenny Kelly trades one hat for another. His Tampa Bay Devil Rays summer is over. Today, he takes command of the Hurricanes. You are looking live at the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey. On an August afternoon, a sellout crowd is here for the 17th annual Kickoff Classic, matching Miami of the Big East against Ohio State of the Big Ten. Well, good afternoon and welcome, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. Thanks for joining ABC Sports and sharing all the excitement, the pageantry, and yes, the controversy that makes up college football today, because I guarantee you, 3 months from now, we'll all be talking about which schools should be invited to play in the BCS and which 2 should be selected to play for the national championship on the night of January 4th in New Orleans. And a big difference here between the college game and the pros. There are no preseason games. A loss in August can be just as devastating as one in November, and if you don't believe that, ask Arizona. John Saunders was on hand yesterday at Happy Valley for that impressive performance by Penn State. Let's join John.
Brent,
Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, and the largest crowd in years for the Kickoff Classic. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger with my partner, Dan Fouts. Dan, all summer long, the only conversation coming out of Columbus is who's going to quarterback the Buckeyes?
It's going to be Austin Mockerman, because he's been more consistent in his overall play. John Cooper likes the way he handles the offense, and he has a pocket presence that reminds some people of quarterback Joe Germain. Now, Steve Belisari will play today, and when he gets in there, things get interesting. He's an outstanding athlete and a head-first runner. And, Brent, John Cooper's giving them both the same message. Don't get us beat. Don't take chances.
On the other side, the great Edgerrin James has moved into the pros. What about that critical spot for Miami?
Well, James Jackson and Najee Davenport will both play a lot today. Jackson's a quick-hitting back who's got the flash and the dash to go all the way at any time. Davenport, he provides the speed and the power. Both these players will have to protect the young quarterback, Kenny Kelly.
We've got flash and dash to go with us down on the field, too. Dean Blevins, he's with the coach of the Hurricanes. Let's go to Dean.
All right, Butch, I know how it feels for a quarterback to go out for his first start. Kenny Kelly does it for you. What are you going to tell him?
Well, we told him just go out, play with boys, Dean, and have fun, relax, and trust his supporting cast.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Dean.
And, Brent, I had a chance to talk to Austin Mockerman. I asked him how much he slept last night. He said, no problem, 8 or 9 hours. And for a college kid, that's probably not very much, though.
The scene here at Giant Stadium, which last night hosted a preseason game between the Giants and the Jets, and today they turn it over to the Ohio State Buckeyes and Miami. And the Buckeyes will be receiving, so we will see young Austin Mockerman take his first snap as a college quarterback. And you can just imagine the pregame jitters. Handling all of the kicking chores, Andy Crossland. Back deep, Kenyon Rambo and Michael Wiley. Wiley, number 5, standing back by the goal line. We featured him in our tees. Very impressive young man. Crossland, the senior. He will also do the punting today for the Hurricanes, so he'll be busy young man.
And isn't it great to see natural grass here at Giant Stadium? This is the first Kickoff Classic to be played on the natural stuff, and I love it.
They will go back to the artificial turf for the regular season, but there is a lot of talk about playing on natural grass in the future. Rambo young Austin Muckerman out of California has received his final set of instructions. And Dan, do you remember the first time you started up in Oregon, what it felt like for someone to move behind center?
Well, you can barely feel anything, Brent. You're so excited. Your heart is just jumping out of your chest. You can't take a calm breath. And believe me, after talking to Austin yesterday, he appears to be a very calm, cool guy on the outside. Inside, although he may have slept well last night, I know he's very nervous.
Calls his first play. Wiley is set back in the out. They'll run Wiley on the toss, and the Canes cut him off at the pass. And now we'll take a look at the Chili's starting lineups up front for the Ohio State Buckeyes. I don't have to tell you how impressive they've been throughout the decade, but an untested offensive line, but not at wide receiver. They have got Slick, Reggie Germany, and Quick. Kenyon Rambo. Steve Wisniewski has won the job as the starting tight end. There's Wiley. Matt Keller, very good receiver, slipping out of the backfield. And so Slick hits out wide, number 80. Wisniewski moves the strength of the formation to the left. And they bring Rambo to the short side in motion. The Canes chase on it. It's Wiley. Penalty flag is down. A lot of movement back there.
Yeah, I think the tight end moved. Steve Wisniewski on the left side of the line. I was surprised it took so long to get the flag.
Jack Childress, the referee. John Cooper looking on. 12th season at Ohio State. Your Chili's defensive lineup for Miami. Looking for the big stud. Looking for somebody like Mr. Sapp to step up. Maybe it'll be Damian Lewis. Linebackers as good as any trio in the country. Nate Webster between Michael Smith and Dan Morgan, and they can flat out fly to the football. And yes, Al Blades is the brother of Benny Blades, so they carry on that great tradition. Brian, the other of the Blades, to play at Miami down in the 80s. That means there'll be a little chattering in that defensive backfield, folks. Those of you down in South Florida who know the Blades know that talking was never a problem for one of the Blades. After the penalty, it'll be second and long. Provitt checks in as the extra wide receiver. Wiley on a handoff to the 12-yard line. And now let's take a look at what we refer to as the Dell Game Solutions, Dan Fouts.
Well, one thing Ohio State wants to do is dictate the tempo and style of play today. They've got to be accurate throwing the ball against the bump and run, and they got to play Big Ten style football. What is the Big Ten style of football? Just ask the Arizona Wildcats. Miami on defense, you got to know which quarterback is in the game. Mockerman is the passer, Belisari is the runner. And then they want to play their style of football, which is to use their speed to attack and swarm. So far, they're looking good.
And they have young Mr. Mockerman in 3rd and 17. His first shotgun look. Pressure from the side, and he'll throw it away deep down the middle, but we do have a penalty flag thrown on the far side at about the 28-yard line. Boy, Nate Webster on that second down made a nice play for the Canes, didn't he?
He certainly did. He's going to make a lot of nice plays. He is an outstanding middle linebacker.
Dead ball foul. Delay of game by the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
So first game jitters for Ohio State. They lose 4 yards on their first running play. They get a illegal motion penalty, and now a delay of game penalty. Late getting the signals in right now to Mockerman.
Done a fabulous job at Ohio State. Even overcame that negative Michigan statistic last season, didn't he? 3rd down and 22. Mockerman standing on the 2-yard line. He'll take it back in the end zone. Snaps to the middle. Wiley bobbled and drops it at the 20-yard line. And the Buckeyes, with a new punter today, will be punting it out of their end zone. Dan Stoltz, their field goal kicker, will also handle the punting today. Brent Bartholomew moving on to the pros as 11 former Buckeyes went to training camp with the NFL this year. Santana Moss is back deep And this young man can be a burner. He could give the Canes and Kenny Kelly great starting field position. Santana, well, he reminds you a little bit of Michael Irvin. He's got perhaps better breakaway speed, but he loves to make big plays. He averaged over 21 yards a catch, and the Buckeyes are fearful of his presence. Standing back at midfield now. This will be great field position. Fair catches the signal by Santana right at the 42-yard line. So now it will be Kenny Kelly, a center fielder in the Tampa Bay Devil Ray organization, and a very promising future in baseball if he elects to go that way. You can tell by our graphic this will not be his first snap. Unlike Muckerman, he's already been in 8 games, and Butch Davis seemed to be on fire over there, Dan.
He was expecting a timeout after the change of possession there. His team is now hustling to the line of scrimmage, but they were caught off guard.
Off to the right. James Jackson. And the Canes open with a 2 tight end formation, and Jackson dances, tries to avoid the loss, and cannot, as the Buckeyes gang up with Niall Diggs in on his first stop of the game, number 32. Meet the Canes offensive line. When you compare them with the Buckeyes, not as big, but they are quick. And number 62, that left guard, Richard Versay from Montreal, is a good one. There's Santana in the middle. Reggie Wayne, 87. Daniel Franks, known as Bubba. And Kenny had James Jackson behind him, but Mondrell Fulcher will be in when they need a fullback, as he is now upset to the left. Second down and 12. Jackson sprints to the right. Alley. Jackson breaks free. Jackson. Touchdown! Canes on their second play. For James Jackson.
We talked about the flash and dash. Watch Jackson following his blockers perfectly. That's a huge hole, and now it's all pure speed for James Jackson. Great start for Miami, both on defense and now on offense.
Crossland with a timeout called by Miami. I think they had only 10 players on the field, and that's why they used a timeout. That'll happen to you. In fact, James Jackson, so he is one of 2 backs who must replace Najee Davenport. And we asked Jackson if this team is, and he specifically, are you better than Edger and James?
Edger had the ability as being a starting tailback to show his hand. So this game, maybe, you know, if the ball is thrown to me, I have a chance to showcase my hands. I think the difference was between me and Edger is I attack the line of scrimmage much faster than he does.
And he did attack it quickly that time. Just what he told you. Edgerrin sometimes would dance, find a hole, and then take off. Jackson decided immediately that he had an alley on that left side. And one of the problems the Buckeye coaches have talked about, replacing Rudzinski, replacing Katzenmoyer. They're breaking in linebackers at that spot.
And there's no question at the speed of Jackson, there were a number of Buckeyes that had the angle on him. His speed just ran away from all of them.
Now 11 Canes on the field. And Crossland puts Miami ahead of Ohio State. As you take a look at the junior James Jackson, 5'11", 210 pounds, and he can flat out motor. The Canes strike first in the Kickoff Classic. Miami off to a good start on this Sunday afternoon. Wisp clouds in the sky. You can see in the background mist in the air. Still a little humidity here in the tri-state area. Rotation of defensive linemen by the time we get to the fourth quarter will be a factor one way or the other in this football game. And Rambo, who did not come out of the end zone, is eager to return one if he can here. They go to him again and even deeper. Crossland buries him that time, and it'll come out on the 20-yard line. Let's go back to the Jackson TD.
Well, I think we can score one for speed over size and power, as Jackson will run away from Gary Berry, number 1 right there. Then Clemens stays in bounds down the sidelines, and Nicky, the final. All defensive backs, and they didn't even get close.
What I want to say is no Winfield, no Damon Moore. I know there's always a lot of talk and hype about replacing fellas like that, but sometimes it takes a little while before you start playing like first-round draft choices, as Winfield was.
Remember, they ran the ball against the linebackers, Ott and Sheepwood, a couple of guys with not much experience.
Here comes Wiley again on a cut back through the middle. Wiley to a hole. Wiley's free. 45-foot race. Reggie Germany with him. Blades trips him up at the 10-yard line. Al Blades trips him up and saves an Ohio State touchdown as Michael Wiley pounds 70 yards.
Ohio State has power as they go right up the middle on the isolation play behind Keller. There's Gilbert. Big hole here. Now this is what Ohio State has that may surprise Miami today. They have great team speed as well. Outstanding job up front. They blow the hole, and great vision by Wiley. Great effort here by Al Blades. That could have been a touchdown.
I'm surprised they didn't go to Wells. They pound right back with Wiley. After a 70-yard run with a young man over there with as much skill as he has, sometimes you want to give a running back a little bit of a breather in that situation.
And he's in now, Brent. Maybe Wells wasn't ready on the sidelines. That is a critical mistake there, because Wiley, he's got to be gassed. It is hot. It is humid here. Not sure what was going on with Wells on the sideline.
But Wiley did battle for a couple more yards, so it's 2nd and 8. As here is the young man that we've been hearing so much about. When we are at practice, they're raving about Jonathan Wells. John Cooper says, like Eddie George, maybe faster. Muckerman high, middle, incomplete. Up over the top of Reggie Germany, who was well covered, working in the back of the end zone. Mike Rump, the defensive back for the Canes.
Well, Mockerman's 0 for 2 now, and this ball thrown high for Germany. He's 6'2" and is a great leaper, but can't quite time it. Ball was not overthrown. It just Germany's timing was a little bit off.
Big 3rd down for Cooper and the Bucks.
I'll take that throw anytime as far as forcing it and not forcing it.
Keller offset. So the receiver's the fullback. Mockerman can't pick him up early. Now in trouble. Short of the end zone, down at the 6-yard line. The Buckeyes will have to settle for a field goal attempt. Matt Sweeney, the left tackle out of Lafayette, New Jersey, in front of a lot of family and friends, makes a big play.
It's pretty obvious that's not one of Austin Mockerman's strengths, is running the ball.
Now the quarterback who is the excellent runner is your holder right now for Cooper. Steve Balisari will hold it, and Dan Stultz, he will attempt this field goal. Buckeyes are on the scoreboard. So they fail in a 1st and 10, but they still score their first points of the new season. Al Blades saved a touchdown there, Dan.
Showed outstanding speed. When Wiley broke into the secondary, he had about 7 yards on Blades, but he just wouldn't quit. And when he dove, he barely got the shoe top of Michael Wiley. That was a huge play.
So there's Najee Davenport, pretty good running back along with Jackson. He's back there with Aaron Moser. So you know they can motor a little bit. Pretty good start to this Kickoff Classic, eh?
Yeah, a little bit of offense never disappointed me, pal.
High but short. Let's see what Davenport does. Takes it on the run. Slips to the 28-yard line, where it'll be 1st down. And a reminder that ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by the Wide Track Grand Prix by Pontiac. Wider is better. Tyco International. Do you know Tyco? Dell Innovative Computer Solutions, from the company that pioneered direct around the world. Be Direct, Dell, and Chili's, a proud sponsor of ABC College football. So the Canes now bring it out from the sideline to see what they can do behind Mr. Kenny Kelly. We really haven't had an opportunity to talk too much about Kenny, and Jackson springing for that touchdown. The rest of the time we see the Bucs on offense. So we'll see Kenny now as he points out the linebackers in the box against him, lines him up in an eye. Uses Fulcher to offset a little bit. They run Jackson to the left this time. A little more resistance that time. And Clements comes up from the cornerback position, and let's take a look at the Ohio State defense. Rodney Bailey, they say, had an excellent summer in Columbus, and Ryan Pickett, young man heavily recruited in Florida. They go 7 or 8 deep, though. That's the strength of this defense. Here's where they're thin, and it showed up a short time ago. A couple fellas been suspended. Niall Diggs, of course, big timer, number 32. And there in the defensive backfield, Nate Clements, a starter. Ahmed Plummer, recognized around the country as the most underrated of Coach Fred Puggage's defensive players. On second down, Jackson sputters back to the right side, and Brent Johnson from Ontario, Canada, making the stop. And how about our Dell Solutions here, Dan?
Well, we saw Kenny Kelly pointing at those linebackers. He's pointing primarily at number 32, Niall Diggs. Got to know where he is at all time and expect a lot of blitz today. Make sure you have the proper protection. Now, Ohio State defense make Kenny Kelly beat us. So that means they're going to crowd the line of scrimmage, and they've got to keep their defensive line fresh in this humidity.
3rd and 6, and Andre King checks in as a third wideout. He's off to the short side of the field. Kelly, fumble, hit from the blind side. Diggs got him, and the Buckeyes have a first down at the 6-yard line as Rodney Bailey scoops it up. But that showed you Niall Diggs' power coming from the blind side. And Dan showed you on that graphic, we have got to know where Diggs is, and they lost him this time.
Niall says we're going to make Kelly beat us. We're going to pressure him early. I don't think Niall ever expected to get a free shot on the quarterback this early. And if old Rodney Bailey could have just high-stepped from the 7-yard line, he'd be dancing in the end zone still. Clear and free to the quarterback as Robert Hall can't get out to pick up Niall Diggs.
Now the Buckeyes with another touchdown opportunity. Here's Wells, and he is jumped on by Dan Morgan. The junior linebacker just put a saddle on Wells' back and rode him to the bottom of the corral.
Number 1 tackler for the Canes last year, 150 tackles. And he got 10 for losses right in the backfield that time. This is a great unit of linebackers here with Morgan, Webster, and Michael Smith, who doesn't get a lot of credit playing over the tight end.
Second down and goal. This is the 5th crack at that end zone from down there. Got it. Touchdown pass. Mockerman's first scoring strike, and it goes to tight end Steve Wisniewski. The Buckeyes lead it for the first time as Austin Mockerman authors his first scoring strike.
Not only his first scoring strike, his first completion of the 99 season. Wide open tight end, and he drills it away from the linebacker Webster to the open shoulder. That's a experienced throw from a guy that doesn't have a lot of experience.
Stoltz nails it down. Did not. Missed it. The field judge and the back judge checking with each other. Stoltz looking back in that direction. And they waved it off, so the Buckeyes lead is 2 instead of 3 at 9-7. Dan, was your first completion a touchdown pass?
It was dropped. It should have been a touchdown pass, but that's another
Well, here's
story.
what led to it is Diggs comes in, beats the blocker that time, and
unfortunately,
forced
Brent, that happened to me a few times as well, getting hit in the blind side. You would expect your tackle, and in this case it was Robert Hall, number 77, to be able to come out and know where that linebacker is. Whenever we played a team, especially the team that played in this stadium, the New York Giants, Lawrence Taylor, that's where we had to go out and always make sure that we knew it would put a big body on that linebacker. They'll be talking to Hall on the sidelines and getting that pass protection straightened out.
So on a warm, muggy August Sunday, a wonderful crowd in excess of 75,000 watching the Kickoff Classic here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. 85 degrees and sunshiny skies the rest of the day. And Ohio State leads Miami 9-7. We still have 7:08 left here in the opening quarter. And we have had 16 points put on the scoreboard already here today. Davenport and Moser back again. And Stoltz's last kickoff was a little bit short. This one high. Davenport runs up. He wants the football at every opportunity. And he is slammed down at the 33-yard line by Michael Doss. Keep an eye on that young man, Michael Doss, from Canton, Ohio.
Doss is a true freshman, and this is what Ohio State did last year. Best rushing defense in the NCAA. They got burned early today on that great run by James Jackson.
Jackson back in at the tailback spot. And Kenny Kelly hoping to get this passing attack. And they have got to know where number 32 is. Base 4-3 by the Bucks this time. Good blocking, good throw. Hit him at the 40-yard line for a gain of about 7 yards. That's Reggie Wayne, the junior, split in, making his first catch. And reminder to everybody, we will have our Chevrolet MVPs of this game from each team, and in recognition, Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund. You Buckeye fans in particular remember Eddie George in this game, and it was a springboard toward winning the Heisman Trophy. Of course, Michael Wiley was talking about that to us the other day. Second down now and 4 for the Canes. This is Moss coming through the formation. Here's Jackson. Picked up about 3 yards.
He really does hit the whole.
Yes, he does.
And when he does that, it really gives his offensive linemen a lot of credit. And they're going to need it today on this hot day.
Yeah, because of the weather. Dean, what's it like down there? How's everybody handling?
Well, first of all, it's a lot cooler than it's been in the past because of the grass, as you mentioned, but also the wind. Brent, the kickoffs are short because the wind on the field is blowing probably 15 to 20, camera right to left.
Yeah, thanks, Dean. That's an excellent point, and that obviously is why Stoltz has been short with those kickoffs. Now we get a 3rd and 2 for Miami. And they gang the tailback that time. He was ambushed at the 40-yard line, and this will force Miami to punt as Johnson and Diggs led the way defensively. I know there's a lot of talk about LeVar Arrington over at Penn State, and I stand second to no one in my admiration of him, but won't it be a great matchup when Diggs and Arrington meet over in Happy Valley a little bit later this fall?
Two great athletes, both playing similar position where they're allowed to run sideline to sideline and make those big hits.
Clements goes back deep. This is a terrific punt by Crossland, but again, Dean showed you that wind. Gets a nice sideways bounce, and the Buckeyes are buried back at the 5-yard line. So Ohio State leads Miami 9-7 with 4:53 to go in the first.
Are you ready to hit the road?
Can a wider track broaden your horizon?
Do you wish life would throw a few more curves your way?
Is the right offer the cure for hesitation?
Are you ready for something you've always wanted?
Then get to the Pontiac Hit the Road Summer Sell Down for 0% APR financing or $1,000 cash back on any 99 wide track Grand Prix.
Hit the road for Pontiac driving excitement.
See your dealer today.
What are you waiting for?
So what do you think? She's all business. Got the power. Great pace, good movement, always forward. You know, that's the clean form so many companies abandon. They get all twisted in process and bureaucracy. They lose focus. Today, you've got to stay disciplined and acute. You've got to keep the upper management structure flat so that operating units are empowered to act. Bam! What are you talking about? Do you know?
At Burger King, we're always trying to make have it your way better. Like this idea for a win your way college football game.
You got 4 tries!
Run back a kickoff and win great prizes. Then we thought, why not just scratch and win? This week, Michigan and Notre Dame face off, and you could win $1 million, a Toyota RAV4, or the best tasting prize of all, a delicious Whopper. Burger King. When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
Go Irish! Michigan! We can't miss that game. We'll be there, don't worry. College football ABC.
Let's take a snapshot look at young Austin Mockerman. First game as the Ohio State quarterback. Played his high school football, Mission Viejo, California. Journalism major, and the name is pronounced Mockerman. As he explained to us, that's old German, where the H is a K. 6'3", 215 pounds. Completed his first pass ever as a Buckeye for a touchdown. He has Wells and Martin in the backfield behind him on this set. Coming out from the Bucs 5-yard line. This is Wells off a blocker. No way. Loses a couple of yards as Morgan and Myers climb all over him. And Dan Morgan has been very active so far.
He really has, Brent. And you see the difference between Jonathan Wells and Michael Wiley. Wells hit the back of his offensive lineman, whereas Wiley earlier in the game showed that good vision. Of course, he's got a lot more experience being a senior. Wells is just a sophomore.
Second down and 12. Gary Schiano's new look defense trying to attack. Martin, the fullback, makes it to the 6-yard line with Nate Webster, the middle linebacker, number 52, making another tackle.
And really what Greg Schiano, the new defensive coordinator, talked about, not so much we're going to blitz anymore. We're just going to be more sound in our defense. We're not going to put our players in position where they may make mistakes. So they've cut out a lot of things, and that allows them to just go out there, know their assignments, and play hard. And right now they're playing extremely hard.
Into Miami from the Chicago Bears, and also coached under Joe Paterno of the Penn State. You don't learn how to coach linebackers, you go to work for Joe. Third down and 8 yards to go. Mockerman complete. That's slipping. Wells goes down with Dan Morgan defending him short of the first down, and the Buckeyes will be forced to punt it again as Dan Morgan turns in another outstanding defensive series.
Well, and I like the way the quarterback hung in the pocket. That's nervous time when you're back against your own goal line. And Mockerman got off the pass just before he got hit by Mike Burrow.
So now Santana Moss, remember, he made the fair catch at the 42-yard line, which led to the Canes touchdown. He's standing right about midfield. Hangs this one high, and Santana Moss makes a fair catch on the other side of the 50 at the 4-4. Well, it was kind of unique, wasn't it, Dan, watching the Miami Hurricane offensive line prepare for this season?
Well, only offensive linemen would think this is a good idea. Put the tire strip.
Okay, put it neutral, please.
The key phrase there was, please put it in neutral. So that shows that offensive linemen are smart. Defensive linemen will say, I'll put the brake on.
So here they are, lined up and trying to do a job. Well, he hands it off to Jackson, who is forced back the other way with Niall Diggs among those in hot pursuit. And they have got their hands full with number 32, folks. He came busting across that line of scrimmage. He was breathing fire almost before the handoff again.
He's got great anticipation, and his defensive line is helping him out a great deal. They are getting a lot of penetration too, so you see the running back hesitant to take it where the hole was designed, and that allows an athlete like Diggs to make the play. Clean up.
And Puggage has been moving him around defensively. Tim Cheatwood, the other outside outside backer moves up on the right side. Kelly off a play fake. Cheatwood's in his face, throws it downfield. Santana Moss got it. A brilliant catch by Moss inside the 10-yard line. Oh my! Working against Plummer, and Santana somehow hung on, and it was a 50-yard gain as Cheatwood unloaded on Kenny Kelly as he released the pass.
Not a bad throw for a baseball player. After the play action fake, he knows he's got to get it up quick. There's a shot from Cheatwood. Watch this athletic ability. That looks a lot like Lynn Swan right there, going up and making an athletic, acrobatic catch.
And Plummer may have saved a touchdown by just hanging on. Jackson short side of the field, upended at the 5-yard line for a gain of 3 by Nate Clemens, the other corner.
How about Kenny Kelly? People were concerned about how he would start this game. 2 for 2, 56 yards, and he's got his team right on the 5-yard line.
Jackson still the running back. Miami trying to regain the lead. Trail it by 2 points. Jackson searches daylight. Corner, penalty flag, dives, touchdown, but there is a penalty flag. Against the Canes, nullifies the touchdown run, the holding call.
The flag was thrown right at the point of attack when we saw Jackson explode into the end zone. Well, the reason he got there.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. The 3-second down.
Check it out right here, right in this group. Watch the acceleration, but also watch the flag come flying in. Like they might have got the tight end, Daniel Bubba Franks.
So the ball is spotted back on the 15-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal for the Canes. Reggie Wayne and Andre King come out to the left side of this formation. And Kelly's going to drift in that direction. Throws wide open, no, incomplete. Andre King, perhaps he overlet him just a touch, but he had a lot of daylight over there, Dan.
Well, you know, that's the toughest throw a quarterback has to make, and especially a guy that's been playing a lot of baseball, rolling to his left. But this is not a bad deal, because the speed of King, he runs away from Ahmed Plummer on the corner route right there. Maybe he shouldn't have raised his hand to say, hey, I'm open. But you know what? I'd expect Andre King to come back and say, I'm sorry, Kenny, I should have had that one.
3rd and goal from the 15. This time Moss goes over to the slot on the left. There's still 3 wideouts, but they alter where they go. They're going to run Jackson on a delay, and Jackson makes the most of it to the 10-yard line. This will be 4th down. I'm sure Miami will go for a field goal to regain the lead here.
I'm sure that was the thinking by Larry Coker, the offensive coordinator for the Hurricanes. Let's not come away without at least 3 points, and that 3 points will give us the lead.
And they want to get this kickoff before the quarter ends. They've got 3 seconds. They better hurry. They're not going to make it. So there's a little bit of breeze coming up. A more efficient team would have made sure they kicked with the wind at their back. So it's a good first quarter at the Kickoff Classic, and we'll be right back. The loneliness field goal kicker. While we were away at commercial, Crossland just stood by himself and stared away at these 2 uprights. This is for the lead to start the 2nd quarter, kicking it from the right hash. Jeff Popovich, the holder. It'll be a 28-yarder for Crossland. No good. And I go back to the fact that they let the clock run out. We've now had an extra point and a field goal missed at that end of the field. Oh, there have been some great quarterbacks come through Miami, haven't they? One of the early ones is down below with Dean Blevins. Dean?
Jim Kelly, of course, 78-82. No quarterback doesn't like to see a holding penalty and a missed field goal.
No, you don't. And I like the part where they were coming out no-huddle offense. That's what I was getting excited about.
Hey, Kenny Kelly, though, no namesake there. But anyway, he gets off to a great start, don't you think?
There's no doubt about it. I mean, I've talked to him before the game. I said, just go out there and have some fun. Play it loose.
Are these guys coming back? What do you think of what Butch has done in his, 4 years plus?
Well, he had some problems as far as recruiting a long time ago, and that hurt him a little bit, but they're definitely coming back. He's a type of coach you need to go out there and recruit some of these young players.
All right, Jim, thanks. See you on ESPN. Back to you, Brad.
All right, thanks a lot, Dean. Play fake, Mockerman, first down, in trouble. Sacked at the 11-yard line. Damian Lewis from Sulphur Springs, Texas, led that charge.
Yeah, big number 92 got 2 sacks last year, and this is a coverage sack for the Miami defense, and a good play and a good move as Lewis beats Mike Gurr. Remember, Mike Gurr's filling in for Rob Murphy, who had some academic problems. So another situation where Ohio State is hurt by an inexperienced player.
It's interesting to watch Morgan tracking Wiley out of the backfield that time, and he had him pretty good. Second down and 19 after the sack, and the Bucs pound away with Keller, and he is up into the 19. We should report that there is a big player missing for the Canes right now. Al Blades, their free safety, injured, and Dean said there's a possibility of a fractured wrist. Now, that's certainly nothing official about that yet, but he saved a touchdown early in this game, and now he is not on the field for this Hurricane defense. With Ohio State coming up with a 3rd and 10, Germany will split out to the right. Rambo's the flanker. He's to the left side, and Mockerman in the gun. Canes show a little bit of a blitz look. They come outside on Mockerman, but he gets it away. Got it, Germany. First down, a huge play.
Watch the way Mockerman steps up into the pocket and gets away from the blitz on the outside. That's what we were talking about, his pocket presence. Keeping his focus down the field, knowing he's got to squeeze that one into Reggie Germany.
That was Nick Ward trying to slip in, number 3. Mockerman on first down, fires, wobble, complete again, and Germany is thrown down. We've talked a lot about Morgan and the changes with the defense, and we ask him, what is the difference for the Miami defense this year versus last year?
Well, we are going to attack a little bit more, but I think people are blowing that a little bit out of proportion. We're going to go out there. I mean, basically, this year, everyone knows their assignments a little bit better than last year, and I think last year that was missing. Everyone wasn't sure what to do, but this year, Coach Shiano's brought a more disciplined approach.
And Morgan certainly has been disciplined today. Second down and 3. Mockerman in the middle. Fumble! Miami's got it. Incomplete. They're waving it off. Incomplete is the call. It looked for a moment. Just a moment, like Kevin Hauser had control of the ball. So a break for Mockerman and the Buckeyes.
Big hit by James Lewis right in the middle of the field. Watch him come on the tight end. The ball could have been called a reception because Hauser had both feet on the ground. But this is college football. Play on, boys.
They're down in 3 for the Bucs. Play fake. Mockerman calmly throws it to Keller, the fullback. Another Ohio State first down. You know, Dan, Mockerman's passes are not a thing of beauty here in the early going, but he does get the ball to the receiver in a spot where he can catch it.
Absolutely, especially we saw that on the touchdown pass, but also what you're seeing is a guy that knows the offense. He knows where the defense is. He knows where to throw the ball between linebackers, away from a type of coverage. And right now, he seems to be gaining in confidence with each completion, which is normal.
Bucks with the ball at midfield here on this first down. Off a fake, throws, Rambo, that one was out of bounds. Kenyon Rambo, the second fastest man John Cooper has ever coached at Ohio State. The fastest, Joey Galloway. He's so fast you can't catch him with $35 million. Seattle folks are probably just scratching their heads out there and saying, my goodness gracious.
I think Joey Galloway, once he gets into camp, knows he's going to catch 100 passes and about 10 or 15 touchdowns, and then Mike Holmgren offense.
Second down and 10. Wiley. Nothing doing, so this will bring about a 3rd and 9 coming now for the Bucks. So here's that 3rd down, and we asked Markerman what he has to do to be successful in this game, and here's what he said.
I think Coach Cooper said it, that we don't have, the quarterback doesn't have to go out there and win the game, just not lose the game, and kind of know what he means. Just, you know, get the ball to Kenyon, Reggie, Mike Wiley, those guys, and take a lot of pressure off the quarterback.
You know, I think it's nice for the fans to see the youngsters, the faces, get a feel for what they're like, because all the time we see with their helmets out there.
Yeah, and he's a good-looking young man who's a pretty cool customer.
Keller on a cutback for the Bucks. Barges to the 41-yard line, short of the 1st down, however. Well, you've seen the pictures earlier today, and the Goodyear blimp, Spirit of Akron, is floating overhead. Whenever possible, Goodyear's 3 U.S.-based blimps are using their electronic signs in support of Red Cross disaster relief. And here's a phone number for you folks, 1-800-HELP-NOW. That's for the Red Cross disaster relief, and thanks to all the good people at Goodyear for helping out. So the Bucks have decided to go ahead and punt it. Dan Stoltz on the field. Beautiful high punt. Santana Moss with another fair catch right at the 11-yard line. If he knew that the first man down was going to slip, he'd have kept on coming. 9-7, Ohio State leads it by 2. Timeout. Well, Austin Muckerman off to a positive start here so far for the Buckeyes. 9-7 lead. Now it's Kenny Kelly's turn for Miami. 85 yards away, working against a Buckeye defense that has been ferocious under Coach Puggage. And Najee Davenport, number 4, to check in for his first rotation. A little bit bigger back there. You can see behind Kenny. And they cut with him right away. And man, number 52 just ate him up. James Cotton. Let's check in now with Dean Blevins on the Blades injury. Dean?
Yeah, not good. Blades is out, a dislocated bone in his left forearm. He left a while ago holding his arm up. We were told it was a wrist, but it's a dislocated bone, left forearm. He will not return.
Dean, thank you. That's a tough break for the young man and the school.
Absolutely, Brent. He is their unquestioned leader, not only in the secondary, but that entire defense. They'll miss him.
2nd and 9 for Kelly and the Canes. Using Bubba in motion. Bucks attack, snap throw. Santana went back out after it, but incomplete. I'd like him to drop one like that.
That was right where you want to put it, to the receiver on a slant pattern. Put it right in front of his eyes. I think Moss's eyes were looking elsewhere.
Well, here at the Kickoff Classic in East Rutherford, New Jersey, Miami scores first, and now the Buckeyes have come back with 9 unanswered points before the largest crowd in 4 years at the Kickoff Classic. 9:25 to go here in the first half. The Canes spread the field on this 3rd down and 9 for Kelly. And they took too much time. It almost was like Kelly was thinking about changing, didn't, and then the clock expired on him.
A dead ball, delay of game by the offense, 5 yards, still 3rd down.
You know, that's one thing. When you come from baseball to football, you have to make decisions in football at the split second, and you've got to be absolutely sure that the decision you make is the correct one.
3rd and 14. Back off at the corner. Kelly from the pocket fires. Intercepted. Intercepted by Mike Clements, the young man who replaced Winfield. So Nate snaps off the interception.
Not a good last two plays for Kenny. Kelly gets one drop, and this one he just doesn't throw it out far enough in front of the receiver. Outstanding play by Nate Clements as he sees the ball hanging in the air, and he just drives on it. Now watch his footwork. He could play wide receiver.
And the Buckeyes will give Steve Belisari a shot. A different look as Wells pounds to the 24-yard line. So for the first time today, the sophomore from South Florida, Steve Belisari, checks in. He's left-handed, and he is more of a threat to run.
And what a great place to put in a young quarterback. Great field position. After a turnover, everything is in Belisari's favor now.
And here is Martin, the fullback. Stood up right around the 20-yard line. And time now for our Aflac trivia quiz. And the question is, when was the last time Ohio State lost their opening game of a season? I'll give you one hint. It has not come during John Cooper's tenure. The last time Ohio State lost their opening game. I'm sure there's some Buckeye fans who jumped all over that. 3rd down and 2.
You would hope the Buckeye fans would remember.
They don't want to remember that one. Wells squirts for the first down inside the 15-yard line.
Buckeyes go with an unbalanced line on this 3rd down and short, Brent, something we saw at practice in Columbus on Thursday. They really load up the right side of the offensive line. Here we have an extra tackle over here. This is a tight end, but look at the backs. Here's Wells, here's Martin, and there's Keller, and look where they're running.
Steve Belisari volunteered for special teams duty a year ago. And here he is doing what he wants to do. A chance to quarterback. Flare pass out wide, and Morgan jumps all over Wells.
One thing's been missing from this game, you know, Brent. Miami's playing tough, hard-nosed football, and they're not doing a lot of yakking, are they?
Dean Belisari here with a big chance.
Well, it is a great chance for him, but if one of the downfalls of changing quarterbacks is bobbles, snaps, or fumbles. A couple of plays ago, they got lucky. They bobbled it, retained possession. We'll keep an eye on it.
2nd down and 13. The delay. Wells back to the 14-yard line before he is put down by James Lewis. Now he's filling in for Al Blades, playing that free safety spot. So the sophomore with his hands full.
He's already made one big play in the 2nd quarter when he came up and put the big hit on the tight end, Kevin Hauser of Ohio State. Caused the incompletion.
Shiano plays with a little fire in his belly. When you talk to him, we talked to him the other day, he was hoarse. That comes from a lot of yelling on the practice field. Wiley back. Belisari wants him, but threw behind him and high. That was a lateral and went out of bounds. There's no question that was a lateral.
And give Greg Schiano a lot of credit there. He brought both safeties right up the middle at Belisari, and Belisari rushed his pass and threw that lateral. They lost a bunch of yards on that one.
These Kane linebackers, we were told they're good. They're an impressive trio. They are all over the place out there.
And it seems like they're playing like they're tied together. One makes a tackle, the other two are right next to him.
Stoltz, long field goal attempt. Must be a 44-yarder. No good. The kicking game with a little work to do as the season gets underway. 9-7, Buckeyes still lead it.
Why do I have Aflac insurance on top of my regular health insurance? Because he has his mother's eyes. Because I still have to teach him to whistle. And because Aflac helps cover what other insurance doesn't. If I'm injured, Aflac even provides cash to help pay bills. So why do I have Aflac? To Did I mention he has his mother's eyes? Aflac supplemental insurance. Without it, no insurance is complete.
I was going through this intersection. What? No, this guy came out of nowhere. I swear to avoid him, but...
Slow down. Are you all right?
What happened?
Dad, I'm really sorry about the car.
That doesn't matter. That's okay. Don't worry about that.
Your whole life can change in a second. So think about this. Ford Taurus has earned the highest government front crash test rating available. 5 stars.
He shook up, but he's fine.
Don't you just hate the phrase, assembly required? Well, at Chili's, we do too. So with our new Chili's sirloin stack, we've done all the assembling for you. We take tender, juicy sirloin, hand-rubbed with our robust blend of seasonings, a mound of sautéed onions, and grilled peppers. Then we put them together for an incredibly bold new taste. And you'll only need a couple basic tools. Chili's new sirloin stack. Let's eat.
The ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by the Ford Motor Company. Better ideas. Burger King. When you have it your way, it just tastes better. Aflac, insuring over 40 million people worldwide. And Budweiser, delivered fresh daily from our local brewery near you.
You know, Brent, special teams are a big part of college football, especially early in the game. And all you have to do is ask the Texas Longhorns about special teams. So far today, 2 missed field goals and a missed extra point.
In case you missed it, North Carolina State blocked 3 punts last night and upset the Longhorns down Austin. Here's Kelly back. Snaps it and almost intercepted. Not a well-thrown ball.
And what we're seeing now is the Buckeyes changing up the coverage, giving Kelly a lot of different looks there. There was some confusion between Kelly and his wide receiver, Santana Moss, on that one as far as the adjustment is concerned. Receivers have to read the defense the same way the quarterback does, or you get some passes that look like that one.
There'll be a little bit of a pinched nerve down there in Webster. Did you see that? The trainer working on him on the sideline there. Second down and 10. Bucks lead it by 2. Kelly, the quarterback. There's Moss on the right side. Penalty flag is thrown. Moss out of bounds at the 33-yard line. And the linesman threw that flag about where Moss was coming off the line.
Well, what he did is he turned up too quickly.
Well, let's tell you about our ABC college football lineup. Next Saturday, we start at 12 Eastern with regional coverage. Nebraska, Iowa, Stanford, Texas, Virginia against North Carolina. Then at 3:30, Notre Dame invades the Big House. Come watch the A-Train. Anthony Thomas take on the Irish. What a crowd we'll have at Ann Arbor next Saturday. And, of course, a dandy here for Ohio State against Miami in the Kickoff Classic. Second down and 15, and Kelly seems to be kind of laboring and throwing the football there, doesn't he, right now?
I think he's getting confused by the Buckeyes, and that will force your mechanics to go a little haywire at times.
Sprinting to the right and throwing high to Wayne, number 87. And Asa Clements making the tackle.
Excuse me, Brent. That's a good call by Larry Coker. Very little reading of the defense on a rollout. You either got your guy and throw it to him, or you tuck it and run it yourself. So Larry Coker is trying to help out his inexperienced young Kenny Kelly with his play calling now.
Plummer, Clements, Donnie Nicky, Gary Berry, the Buckeye defensive backfield, looking at this 3rd and 9. Diggs is over to the left. Now he steps up on the line of scrimmage. Kelly in the shotgun. Diggs trying to come. Diggs picked up by 2 men, but it's the other side that collapses on him with Rodney Bailey. When Diggs forced the turnover, it was Bailey who scooped it up. That time he sacks Kelly. But the Canes were so conscious of Diggs coming from the left.
And watch the safety. Gary Berry come right up the middle, totally free. He uses his speed to get right to the quarterback, and that caused the sack.
Crossland. Returnable. Cross midfield. Clements fumble. Loose ball. I believe the Buckeyes pounce on it. Clements fumbled the punt on the return. Mitchell saves the moment. You can see it come loose. And watch Mitchell. Bounces off his shoulder pad and saves the moment. Timeout.
I'm Steve Kirby. These are my mountains. I test emissions for Ford Motor Company. We're up here in the Rockies testing Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury sport utility vehicles. We're really concerned about the environment. Every SUV we sell this year is going to be low emissions. These vehicles average 35% less smog-forming emissions than the government requires. 35%. That's really amazing. The government doesn't make us do this. We're doing this for my mountains. Better ideas driven by you.
Select road. Validating tires.
With BF Goodrich tires, it's any road you choose. BF Goodrich tires take control.
At Burger King, we're always trying to make have it your way better. Like this idea for a win your way college football game.
You got 4 tries!
Run back a kickoff and win great prizes. Then we thought, why not just scratch and win? This week, Michigan and Notre Dame face off, and you could win $1 million, a Toyota RAV4, or the best tasting prize of all, a delicious Whopper. Burger King. When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
This is Propecia, a pill that might interest you. Talk to your doctor. And call 1-888-5-MERC-9 to see if you're eligible for a $10 rebate certificate. Propecia. There's no reason to wait.
Promotional consideration provided by National Car Rental, the official car rental company of the Bowl Championship Series on ABC.
Let's go!
So the Aflac trivia. When was the last time Ohio State lost their opening game? Back in 1986. Beaten by Alabama, 16-10. What I remember about that? The great Chris Spielman, the only member of a losing team to be voted MVP. He made 16 tackles in that game for the Bucks. I got word from Peter King, my friend who was here today, that Spielman was shaken up last night. I hope that is not serious. And that Chris is like, fumble by Belisari, pulling away. So Dean Blevins' note from the field, right on the spot, as Belisari fumbles, and it goes over to Miami.
Kurt Murphy looking around to see what happens. And Belisari apparently is taking the blame here. Again, the quarterback just doesn't look comfortable. The same thing with Kelly right now. He just dropped that ball. It was right in his hands, but he's maybe thinking of other things.
Kelly on the other side, as Belisari was coming out too quickly. I don't think any question about that. Kelly, on the other hand, looks to me like he's rusty in terms of timing, and I think the receivers and backs are moving as a result of it. It's Wayne this time. He needs to come up with a quick count, not stand there and stare so much out of bounds at the 49. What am I talking about? You know a lot more about that.
No, you're all over it, Brennan. I think we just saw a good example of Kelly trying to deal with that situation. They came up the line of scrimmage. They snapped the ball quickly. They threw a quick out route to Wayne on the sideline. So they did two things there. They got their timing, they got their tempo, and they got a completion.
James Jackson back in at tailback. He scored the Canes touchdown. And he struck first, in case you just joined us. Play fake to him. Now Kelly, look at, he got him wide open. Oh, complete. Inside the 10-yard line. Fulcher, the fullback, and a former tight end runs free. And baby, was he free.
Get Kelly on the move. And here's Fulcher, 18. He's going to go right down the middle here. Great play fake as you see the Ohio State defense looking for the sweep play. Great play also by Nate Clements, bringing down big Montreal Fulcher, 250 pounds.
42-yard gain. So two big plays for the Canes. Can they take advantage? They will try Jackson to the short side. Penalty flag is down. Jackson battles and makes the most of it, but there is a penalty flag down, and And the Buckeyes are applauding, indicating that it is against the Canes for holding again.
2 huge holding penalties against Miami. One nullified a touchdown. That one, Jackson took it all the way down to the 1-yard line. And it appears it was on the same side of the offensive line and tight end.
Holding by the offense, 10 yards from the spot. Will be first down.
Check out number 32, Niall Diggs. And it's Rich Mercier with the hold there. It could have also been somewhere else. But 2 critical holding penalties.
So now they're backed up to the 20-yard line. This is Moss. Careful not to move forward. In motion, and they come underneath, and that is Bubba Franks back inside the 10-yard line. So Miami goes back to work with the 2 big fellows. And a reminder that coming up, Valvoline halftime 99. John Saunders and Terry Bowden. Terry's going to tell you about what he thinks will be the games of the year. Do you know how painful that was, folks, for him to pick Penn State #1? He said, sorry, Dad. He should say, sorry, Mom. Is she going to be on the phone saying, Terry, what are you thinking about out there?
And Terry used to be her favorite.
I know. Gosh darn it. That's what Pops is saying right now. Second down. All down at the 8-yard line. Terry will be with us all season, and that should be a great show with he and John Saunders. Great fake. Kelly. Another penalty flag. Touchdown, Miami. Another penalty flag. Preliminary indication. No penalty now, the umpire says. Now let's see. There's some confusion.
There is no flag.
Yep. Touchdown, Miami. Oh, baby, what a naked bootleg.
And what Miami does here, check this offensive line. They take a page from Ohio State's. This is an unbalanced line. That's why we got the flag. Strength to the right, an athletic quarterback rolling in to the left.
It was Tim Cheatwood, the inexperienced linebacker, who was lined up on the right side defensively for the Bucks, who crashed and bit on the fake. He had the outside containment on that play, and the reason why we got the timeout now is the Hurricanes want to go for 2 here for Butch Davis. So let's take a little bit of a break here. It's 13-9, Miami back ahead.
For more than 30 years, the National Association of Collegiate Directors of Athletics has been the professional and educational association for thousands of individuals at colleges and universities nationwide. The NACTA Sears Directors Cup honors all sports champions in NCAA Division I, II, III, and NAIA. And the NACTA Foundation has awarded more than $6 million in postgraduate scholarships. The leaders in intercollegiate athletics, we are NACTA, the National Association of Collegiate Directors of Athletics.
13-9, Miami over Ohio State, and I suppose that that's what the coaches have seen in Kenny Kelly, even though they would have liked to have had him around. He went off to baseball. He's a very promising center fielder. There are a lot of folks who played football and baseball come back, settle in on football. Kelly is touted as a possible major leaguer, as a center fielder for Tampa Bay. He's not a small-time baseball player. And then A-ball didn't hit a lot of home runs, stole some bases, hit about 275 for him. And so he's rusty, but you saw on that run, and you saw when he picked up those 2 big receivers, that he's got just a ton of talent. That's why he's the Hurricane Guru. 13-9. They'll go for 2 now. Through high, Jackson, great catch, and they get it. No one was on Jackson. Had they been there when he touched the ball, the fellow would have felt a Buckeye helmet right in the chest. But he had time to make the catch and walk on in, and it's 15-9 Miami.
Now they're letting Kenny Kelly do what he does best, and that's just be an athlete here. Just reading the defense very simply. He either goes down the field or out to his halfback. How about that catch by James Jackson? That's a huge 2-pointer.
Well, we have talked about Austin Mockerman, but what about a snapshot look at Kenny Kelly? starting his first game. He has played in 8 previous games at quarterback. 6'2", 195 out of Tampa. There's the speed, folks, 4.43. And the 21 RBIs along with the 12 stolen bases to go with that 275 average. So Kenny Kelly with a choice to make down the road. Both of them like to have the young man. Very pleasant when you talk to him.
And they're making the right adjustments on the sidelines. I think Kenny's feeling better about himself. You know, he went over there and he talked to the coaches as you see him right there. But the big thing is that, you know, he's being able to run around a little bit, make the play here, get the ball off quickly. A lot better tempo for the Miami offense.
Well, maybe Rambo took a chance with Miami kicking into that breeze a little bit with Crossland there. He's back deep with Wiley. Turnovers will do it every time, won't they? I'm going to try to keep it out of his hands. This is Keller, the fullback, back to the 20-yard line. Tough sort. Down finally at the 29-yard line. And let me remind you that preseason closing up here this weekend and next. And tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, you'll see a pretty good left-handed quarterback wearing number 8 in Steve Young. 49ers will be taking on the Oakland Raiders. So Monday Night Football coming your way. Mockerman returns. His first completion of the day is for a touchdown. Throw on first down from the middle through behind. Reggie Germany that time. Second down and 10.
And boy, was Mockerman ever dusted by William Joseph after he let that one go. Joseph just ragdolled him.
You know, I'm suddenly thinking, we were talking about the pros and Steve Young. I'm thinking about our good friend Dick Vermeil back there in St. Louis. And what a terrible blow to lose quarterback Trent Green. But I remember my last conversation with Dick a couple weeks ago, and he told me how much he liked Joe Germain. Not that Joe could step in and quarterback an NFL team right away, but he is on that roster for the Rams, and you just have to wonder. And down goes Mockerman at the 19-yard line as Edward Reed, young man from Louisiana, strong safety, rolls in on him.
Now we saw Gary Berry for Ohio State blitz the quarterback. Here's number 20, Edward Reed from the left side. Look at this hole. Keller too late coming over trying to pick him up. And these quarterbacks, all 3 of them, are getting treated rather rudely here at the Meadowlands.
Reed, you know, he was a mighty good javelin thrower down there at high school. Maybe a chance for a document that for you. Third down and 18. Mockerman goes deep. Germany way overthrown that time. Yeah, one thing I remember about fellas throwing a javelin in Louisiana, I remember when I was working with Taylor Bradshaw right after he came out. Bradshaw was a heck of a javelin thrower, but unlike Bradshaw, Reed not a quarterback. He's a defensive back.
Bradshaw was so good he could throw it, go down and catch it himself.
And then whistle a country tune while he was doing it, right?
Through the hole in his teeth.
Fourth down and 18. Santana Moss back. Things have turned around since that turnover. Santana let it roll down inside the 25-yard line. This is a fine first half. We told you at the top of the broadcast, let's go back to the top, that folks in South Florida felt that the swagger may be coming back with the Miami Hurricanes. They struck first, then they fell back 9-7. Now they stormed down for another touchdown, taking advantage of a couple of turnovers in this football game. Kenny Kelly has to be gaining confidence. And meanwhile, you'd have to think that Ohio State's quarterback decision may still be up in the air, huh?
Well, the way that Belisari, his last 2 plays, he had the lateral that went out of bounds. They fumbled the exchange from center. I would suspect that we'll see Mockerman the rest of the way.
First down and 10. Kelly goes back to the blind side to Davenport. He's trying to look away from him.
throw a screen against those guys. They have a way of just sniffing it out and anticipating it. That was a good job of Brent Johnson dropping off and not giving Davenport anywhere to go.
Joe Brown and Heath Queen in that defensive backfield for Ohio State. One thing to keep in mind, Ben has some fresh rushmen, don't you, down the stretch. He's important, certainly in late August, early September. One of the year that he throws. Here's Davenport. That's Jason Ott, sophomore linebacker. And of course, they're without Chris Kirk, ran into some academic problems, so he's ineligible. Cortland Bullard, outside linebacker, was suspended. So we've got a timeout called by the Buckeyes, and we'll check in on some upcoming programming.
Machine's not working again. That printer always breaks.
MCI Now offers 5 cents a minute every day. That's just 5 cents every evening and all weekend long. Presenting the
number 1. Are you going to get us there on time? We'll be there.
Next stop, Iowa. Taking on Nebraska. Then...
Go Irish! Michigan! We can't miss that game. We'll be there. Don't worry. College football on ABC.
Gave you a pretty good tour over here, didn't I, coming from Manhattan to the Meadowlands today, Dan?
But you taught me a very valuable lesson. Whenever you think you're lost, and I'm not saying we were lost driving out here, but if you ever think you're lost, just look for those Reuter flags on the sides of the cars and make sure they're not going to some buffet down on the east side.
Hey, listen, I couldn't help it. The first guy was going to get some eats before he came out here. I thought he was coming right to the Meadowlands.
I knew we were on the right track when I saw one flag from Miami and one from Ohio State.
All right, final minute, 3rd down and 8. Coach made a big play. He stepped in motion. Kelly away from the rush with the quickness, overthrew and hit Franks, who makes the catch. Came right over the defensive player's helmet that time, and Franks standing there.
Great concentration, Brent, by Franks as Brent Johnson dropped off from his defensive end spot and actually tipped that ball, and so Franks had to really adjust. He made a nice catch.
They bring the chains across. Dan, what surprises you the most about this game?
Well, to be honest with you, the way that Miami is hanging in here, and when you talk to them earlier in the week, they were saying things like, well, we hope to be able to stay with Ohio State and play with them, whereas Ohio State seemed a lot more confident. They expected to win this game, and right now, I don't think they expected Miami to be giving them such a tough time and to be ahead.
Final 42 seconds of the first half, then we'll hear from John and Terry. Shapes up as an entertaining second half here. Wonderful opening weekend for college football, isn't it? Well, I guess not so if you're down in Arizona or Texas today, but still had a lot of big, important games and a good half still ahead of us. They fake Davenport. Kelly going to go long down the middle, bit of a wobbler. Here's Santana Moss against Clemens. Santana runs to it and swings free in a foot race with Berry. Moss, touchdown, Miami! Holy cow!
Santana Moss is adjusted to an underthrown pass from Kenny Kelly. This was not only an outstanding adjustment, but what he did after the catch, running circles around the Buckeye defensive backs.
I'm hearing a lot of talk about Peter Warwick, and rightly so. But take a look at this quick. We told you that he averages over 21 yards a catch a season ago. Watch what he does after the grab.
Well, it's kind of a wobbly old pass there from Kenny Kelly. But this is beautiful. There's 3 defensive backs right there. There's a 4th. That's a linebacker. There's another defensive back. Nobody's closing on Santana Moss. Kelly gets this one up in the air, and it's throwing. Remember, he's throwing this one against the wind. That's why it's held up a little bit. Good coverage by Clements initially, but the ball adjustment, knowing it so far underthrown by Moss, is remarkable.
67 yards.
Well, it's just a straight fly pattern, not much to draw on this one. But after he catches it, he's going to run about 30 or 40 yards to get away from those Buckeye defensive backs. That is a huge play. Especially when you look at the time left on the clock. 8 seconds to go here in the first half.
Pretty good afternoon's work already for Santana. So Butch Davis and the Miami Hurricanes, as Butch told us, we want to find out where we are in this game. We're halfway into it. They're coming back, aren't they? They're going for 2, but they're late in getting Davenport on the field. Now he lines up as the tailback. Field is spread for Kelly. Penalty flag is thrown. Incomplete to Moss. Plummer, the defender. Flag thrown.
Offside by the defense. Half the distance to the goal on the track.
This is a shaky ending to the first half by the Buckeyes here.
There's no way that they ever think that they'd be in this position. But right now, you know, it's the quickness. We talk about the humidity and everything and the heat. Well, there's no place in the world hotter or more humid than Miami. So the Hurricanes are acting as if it's just a cool day.
Different formation and a different play. You thought someone was going to go in motion.
They only have 10 men.
It's 10 against 11. Kelly does it himself again. Kenny Kelly, 67 yards to Santana Moss, and then Kelly on a broken play after an offside penalty scrambles into the end zone for 2 more points.
Okay, Brent, here you got 1 out here. You got 1 here. There's 3. And now this is a 7 right here. Should be 1 more out here. But when you got a good athlete, or make that a great athlete, as Kenny Kelly appears to be, maybe that's more even for Ohio State, 10 against 11. Great effort here as he knows he's going to get absolutely smashed at the pylon. Gets it in for the 2.
There's a fellow the Buckeyes really miss here today. I'm not sure he's going to play in the NFL, but his name is Jerry Rudzinski. And I always thought that he was one savvy linebacker. Staying at home, watching things, cleaning up stuff for the Buckeyes, you know, not getting all the pub that the Big Cat and Diggs got, because they are making a living off that corner over there right now.
The misdirection is killing Ohio State. They're going with the fake, and Kelly has the speed and the athleticism to make them pay.
Remember, the Big Ten is coming off a sensational bowl season. They went 5-0. Then Penn State so impressive yesterday against Arizona. They've won 6 non-conference games in a row. Favored in this one against Miami, but it is the Canes who are making the statement. 23-9 Miami over Ohio State. They'll try to run it out. The Buckeyes fall on it at midfield with 6 seconds. Let's go down to Dean Blevins. Dean.
Guys, Kenny Kelly, I wonder how good this guy would have been if he hadn't gone to play baseball, if he had shown up for summer workouts. You know, you talked earlier about the baseball quarterbacks. Take a look at a mock lineup, if you will. We'll start out with Chris Winkie, first baseman. Josh Booty at quarterback. LSU, Keith Smart, shortstop. We got 2 up, Mike Machete, Doug Johnson, Corey Jenkins, Kenny Kelly, and Quincy Carter. No catcher, no pitcher, ironically.
Dean, I still can't believe that none of the quarterbacks pitch. You would think that would be automatic. Final 6 seconds. Ackerman, the quarterback for the Bucks, going to fire it deep. Germany, and it's picked off. Intercepted by the Canes as time runs out. Mike Rump from Delray Beach picks off Ackerman's long pass. The swagger, at least for 1 half, is definitely back in South Florida as the high-stepping Canes head toward their locker room, leading it 23-9. Santana Moss with a little bit of dash. Catch me if you can. And no one could. Touchdown, Miami. 3, Ohio State 9. I'm Brett Musburger along with Dan Fouts. Dan, what do the Buckeyes have to do now? The obvious question to get back in this, baby.
Well, on defense, you got to find a way to contain Kenny Kelly, and you've got to double team Santana Moss. I don't care what other coverages you're running. This guy's killing you on just 2 pass plays. Offensively, you know, since Michael Wiley's 69-yard run, he's only got 1 yard rushing. So he got to get him going and that offensive line, and Ohio State can do that. Kenyon Rambo, well, got to get him the ball as well.
Third member of our group, Dean Blevins, down below. I know he spoke with the coaches. Dean, what they have to say?
Well, they were listening to Dan. They thought that Dan was about right. One other thing that John Cooper added, he said, you know, we're putting way too much pressure on our quarterback. We've got to play Buckeye football. We only ran the ball 14 times in the first half. Butch Davis said the same thing. We've got to run the ball better. Our quarterback's thinking too many things at the line of scrimmage. But Butch was a little happier the job.
We can understand why. Najee Davenport and Aaron Moser back deep. The Canes and Kenny Kelly will handle the ball here to start the second half. Stoltz to kick it off for the Bucks. Out of the end zone. And it'll come out on the 20-yard line. Santana Moss, a difference maker as far as the Canes are concerned.
And really bailing out his young quarterback by realizing that balls are being underthrown here. And I love his athletic ability. This is just as good as you're going to see this side of Peter Warrick. Right at the end of the first half, when you think Ohio State would have been expecting Miami to try to go deep.
Fulcher and McPartland are in this lineup. They've got sort of a bull backfield, if you will, using an H-back against Ohio State, and it has really worked for them so far.
Brent, Miami starts the second half with just 10 men. So although there aren't preseason games, they scored on a 2-pointer with just 10 men. There are no preseason games. These all count, but we're seeing some preseason type mistakes. Now they're set.
Here's Jackson. Breaks free again. Penalty flag comes flying. Jackson bolts for 10 yards. Again, that is a point of emphasis this year for referees in college football. And now let's take a look at the Morgan Stanley Dean Witter first half stats.
The amazing thing when you look at those rushing yards for Ohio State, remember 69 of those came on 1 run. Miami, the passing yards, of course, those 2 bombs from Kenny Kelly to Santana Moss takes up a lot of those yards.
So again, the officials in college football have been told to emphasize holding this year, but that they have to do it all at once.
And all against one team.
Poston 21 after the holding call. Complete. Reggie Wayne far short. So let's show you the official mandates this year. Now, no visible bandanas on the playing field. I don't know if you're wearing one. Keep it tucked up inside the helmet if you were on the field or in the end zone. You've got to tuck your shirts in this year. There'll be none of those low-cut jerseys that we've seen in the past. And again, which I think is going to really change the game a little bit, is that emphasized holding.
are loose here in the NCAA.
Second down and 15. Jackson, slant, Berry, finally wrestling down at the 20. So it'll be 3rd and long coming up for Kelly and the Canes. Ohio State trying to make something happen here early in the 3rd quarter and climb back in. That late touchdown, I think a point to make is that was a stunner as far as the Buckeyes were concerned. If they could have gotten out at 15-9, a whole lot different than what Santana Moss did on that long touchdown pass down.
And not only did it stun and deflate Ohio State, just imagine what it did to the Hurricanes with just 8 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, Cooper and Pugnich have got to be very concerned about the play of their defensive backfield here so far. Let's see what they come up with now. 3rd and 9. Kelly got him again. 1st down. Puts it into Reggie Wayne's hands. They find a soft bubble. David Mitchell chasing, but it's a 14-yard gain on 3rd down.
The best pass of the day came on, really the most crucial time on for an offense. 3rd and long when you've got to deliver. Here's the route outside, just a hook route, and Kelly's got a little play action fake right there, but he drills it. He has a nice compact delivery. When he gets set, he can really fire.
King and Moss, the wideouts on 1st down. Here's Jackson on the delay. Out to the 40-yard line with Jason Ott. Bringing him down there, but it's a gain of 5-6 yards on 1st down. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
And when you look at the Buckeyes on defense, they have their hands on their hips, and they kind of have the look as they stare at the Hurricanes. Where are they going to hit us next?
Canes did not run the ball especially well in the 1st half, except for that lightning bolt by James Jackson, a 42-yard touchdown shot. Here he comes again, right side, behind a pulling lineman. And this time Ohio State stretches it out of bounds. That was Donnie Mickey, freshman strong safety from Plain City, Ohio, and he's learning under fire.
And that pulling lineman is the world's biggest mogul skier, Rich Mercier from Canada. What did you say the other day, Brent? He broke 16 sets of skis.
Yeah, Austin Muckerman over there waits his turn.
That's what happens when you weigh 290 and you're trying to do daffies and spread eagles on the slopes.
Here's 3rd and 3. Kelly going to throw it. Hit on the blind side. Ball loose. Ohio State jumps on it at the 31-yard line. Jason Ott recovers it as Kelly crushed from the blind side by James Cotton, the senior defensive end.
Well, that's the inexperience of Kelly. He's got to get rid of this ball. It's a short drop, 3 steps. He's got to fire it away right there. You do not have time to look around on a 3-step drop.
Important series coming up here for Ohio State. John Cooper telling Dean Blevins that they need to emphasize the run. You would expect Michael Wiley to be used behind Matt Keller. Mockerman, the quarterback. Against the 4-3. Here comes Wiley. Fumble! Recovered by Miami! Michael Barreau from North Miami Beach falls on the loose fumble. And Michael Wiley, who had hoped to overcome that fumbling problem of early in his career in Columbus, puts it down, and this is a huge turnover.
Very little contact, if any. He just dropped the ball. Saw a defender flash in his face. Looked like he was trying to switch it to his left hand, and he just put it down on the grass.
Oh, my. So a huge break for Kenny Kelly. And the Canes, they get it right back. Najee Davenport, a little bit bigger, to the middle, and fast enough. 1st down, thank you. 13 yards with Gary Berry bringing him down.
Not a good sign for Ohio State when your weak safety's making a tackle, a touchdown-saving tackle at that.
Time starting to slip away on Cooper's wrist.
So's that Rolex.
You bet.
It was a Rolex, wasn't it?
Really? Couldn't really tell, but you got that Hawkeye. 1st down and 10. This Santana emotional. Here's Najee again. If the middle's soft, let's stay there. 9 more yards. Joe Cooper. So they've decided to use the sophomore linebacker. They've liked him in these spring drills. He makes the stop.
Coop's got to be wondering, where is Miami going to attack us next? Seen James Jackson have some success wide, and now the Hurricanes are punching Ohio State right in the gut with Davenport.
Fulcher, first down Miami, and the clock moving. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by the new Dodge. It's about change. Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter. We measure success one investor at a time. Just for Men blends away gray hair in 5 minutes. Looks so natural, no one can tell. And Miller Lite. Taste a true Pilsner. I liked your commercial. I loved it. I thought you and the Snake were excellent.
Well, you
are the best quarterback. Not
you know, me and Kenny, we're friends.
Yeah, here's Davenport. They ride it down. Second down and 11. Mike Collins makes a stop. They back that truck up now and then out there in Oregon as a result of that part?
Oh, here comes the old delivery truck. You betcha, baby.
So there are the 2 Buckeye quarterbacks searching for answers, but sir can't blame those 2 young men.
You know, Mockerman said, you want to go in next, huh? Oh, man. Yeah, why don't you take next year, son? I've been there, believe me.
Second down, 9-12. Press coming. Kelly in trouble again. Runs away from it and hits Fulcher on an escape pass. If you blitz Kelly, I've just got to say, you better get there. Nicky was closing in, and Kelly made him pay.
Well, and Fulcher was blocking Nicky and wasn't doing a real good job at it at that. So if you let your man go, yell, look out to the quarterback, and hopefully he'll find you and throw you the ball. It happens that way sometimes, especially when you have that great mobility like Kelly. I mean, he got away from the pressure and found his open guy.
Bringing down some time here, pretty good in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and 10. Good protection. Underthrow. Intercepted. Picked off on the far side by Plummer. The best of the Buckeye corners, and perhaps the most underrated player on their team a year ago, picks Kelly's pocket that time down the far sideline, and now it's the Buckeyes' turn.
There's a real big difference, obviously, between throwing a baseball and a football. We've seen some real poor spirals out of Kenny Kelly. This one is end over end as he tries to come deep to the sidelines, underthrown by a good 10 yards. Plummer steps in front of Moss, and now he protects the ball as Moss tries to strip it with the right hand.
Here's a statistic. That is his 2nd interception of the day. There also have been 2 Hurricane fumbles. All 4 turnovers have come on 3rd down. George Hill, thank you for that stat, my friend. 1st down and 10. Mockerman in at quarterback. Jonathan Wells gets the call after the Wiley fumble.
John Cooper said that Jonathan Wells was the most improved player on the Buckeye team. Worked hard in the offseason with a lot of the alums that come back and work out in Columbus. A lot of people are very excited about this young man. They even go as far as to say he's more advanced at this stage in his career than Eddie George was.
Wells, daylight. On a slant, out of bounds at the 35. A 1st down, Buckeyes on the move. Speaking about being on the move, Mr. Fouts, tomorrow night on the Monday Nighter, Steve Young and the 49ers against Oakland. This late in the preseason, what do teams try to do? What can we expect to see tomorrow night?
Well, I know one thing, that the 49ers will try to keep this man healthy. Probably play a couple of series, maybe the entire 1st half, but once a quarterback gets hurt, as Trent Green did, all those coaches are looking at that saying, you can't have that happen to our guy.
On first down, Wells picks his way, breaks a tackle, and free. And finally, we see the Jonathan Wells we expected to see here today. James Lewis forcing him out of bounds. Folks, take a look at the size of this young man after that 17-yard run. 230 pounds, and he turned it into muscle this summer, cutting down on his body fat, and they say that he's faster than Eddie George.
Yeah, the Buckeyes are playing Big Ten football now. A couple of lead plays for Wells, and they're rolling.
Double up, tight end department. Found Wells into the middle to the 15-yard line.
And you just had the feeling that Ohio State on offense was going to do this. Cooper knows the strength of his team with all the speed and the skill players they have maybe on the outside and Michael Wiley and everything. They still want to pound the ball behind that huge offensive line.
Wiley checks in. You can see number 5. Wells will take a break. Second down and 7. Ball is on the Canes 16-yard line, and here's Wiley. Sprint, cut. Didn't fumble that time. First down, Ohio State.
And that was a very determined run by Michael Wiley as he pulled away from one Cane. You know, he just fumbled his previous carry, so this is important for him to reestablish himself. He's a senior leader on this team. He was really trying hard to get in that end zone.
Fullbacks.
Unbalanced line to the left, too, Brent.
Movement right in the middle. I don't know if the guard moved his hand first or the defensive tackle came blowing across. Spirit of Akron with pilot John Moran at the controls, and after more than 30 years of flying over everything from the World Series to the Super Bowl and every place from Rome to Los Angeles, Captain Moran's retiring September 1st. Good luck and congratulations, Captain, and thanks for all the help. Jonathan Wells is now in with that unbalanced, and again there is movement. This time they may hit the Buckeyes.
I think you're going to get Henry Fleming, who moved from right tackle over to the left side for that unbalanced line, strong to the left.
Pretty long discussion.
Yeah, it's either, well, what did you see and what did you see? It's not exactly brain surgery.
We have a dead ball foul. Ball start by the offense.
That's what we saw up here.
Dead ball foul. Personal foul against the defense.
Oh, my.
That will take the ball half the distance to the goal. That's an automatic first down.
Well, the precedent goes to the personal foul after the dead ball. There's the offsides by Ohio State. As Nate Webster taking a shot at Tyson Walter. That's why the ball is now inside the 5-yard line.
And it is first and goal. Wells lined up in the eye. The conventional look, slipping as he crossed the 5 to the 4-yard line. It is second down and goal.
And now there's some jawing, and there's pushing and shoving, and the officials do a great job of stepping in between the players.
Matt Keller replaces Jamar Martin. See if they don't slide whistle before the snap.
It's going to be left guard and left tackle. There's Tyson Walter, number 77, and Mike Gurr. You know, that little slap in the face by Nate Webster may have made big Tyson Walter mad. He's looking to get even there. Jumping the gun.
Here's second down and goal. Wells, nothing doing. Bent over backwards like a pretzel.
I don't like that call either. They haven't gotten anything running the ball once they moved inside the 10-yard line. Remember, Kenyon Rambo still doesn't have a catch today.
Up below, making a couple of good plays. Wells did get bent awkwardly back, and he is shaken up. Wiley has replaced him, and Wells may need some help in just getting him off the field.
That was an ugly tackle.
Receiver, slot him to the left. Excellent hands. Keller stays behind Mockerman. Mockerman takes off, and he won't get there. Edward Reed, the sophomore safety.
But Austin, you got to know your limitations here. Once you step up into the pocket, you see things open up. You're not going to run it in against this outfit. Look, keep looking. You might find somebody open in the back of the end zone.
Belisari, the holder, Stoltz, the kicker. This is a 24-yarder. Made a 23-yarder in the opening quarter. And now he adds the 24-yarder. So he's 2 of 3. And it was the turnover which led to the field goal. Ahmed Plummer on a wobbler steps inside Santana Moss, and the Buckeyes score the first points of the second half. Timeout.
Have I been a good husband? Have I taught my children the right things? And have I learned from what they've taught me?
We each measure success in our own way. Now Dean Witter and Morgan Stanley have joined to provide a world of investment advice on a personal level.
Have I done the best I could? Yes, I believe I have.
Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter. We measure success one investor at a time.
It introduced the most powerful overall line of pickups on the planet and stamped the terms V10 and Magnum power indelibly on the face of truckdom. It kicked open the door to the next generation of pickups and made such an impression that today, this is all you have to see to know what's behind it.
Used to be, if I want something done right, I called me. It worked. Until I tried to quit smoking. I needed more than me. I got Nicorette. Nicorette helped me 2 ways. I used it on a regular schedule to help prevent my cravings, and for unexpected cravings, I was ready with an extra piece. I used to be a slave to cigarettes. Nicorette helped me hang on, helped me win. Now that I'm nicotine-free, I gotta tell you, it feels good to win.
Now Nicorette is available in mint. What a refreshing choice. You can do it. Nicorette can help.
Play Burger King's Win Your Way college football game. With a new game every week, you could win $1 million, a Toyota RAV4, a trip to a bowl game, or the best tasting prize of all, a delicious Whopper. Burger King, when you have it your way, it just tastes better.
This is Propecia. Call 1-888-5-MERC-8 for more information and ask your doctor if Propecia is right for you. Propecia. What are you waiting for?
Tonight, Rick Moranis has done it again.
You shrunk us?
Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. ABC tonight at 7, 6 Central.
Well, we mentioned Captain John Moran retiring after 30 years of flying the blimp. Take a bow up there, Captain. You're entitled to some nice time. I'll get a better seat, too. Come on down and join us, right?
Watch that toggle switch there, buddy. I want to go into nose dive there.
There's Moser. Back deep, but that's another fellow who wants it. That's Davenport. Stoltz pounds it toward Davenport. He'll take a knee and it'll come out. Let's check in Dean. What do you hear about Jonathan Wells down below?
Jonathan Wells twisted his left ankle, Brent. He's been over on the sideline trying to walk it out, so he's going to try to go back in, but that's the injury to him. Other than that, the Buckeyes are in good shape.
Well, you know, we're going to lose Dean from the sidelines. You know, he's done such a good job. They're putting him up in the booth for the rest of the season. He could be one of our analysts here at ABC this fall.
You know, he's got great knowledge of football, especially college football. You know, Dean, good luck, buddy. I know you're going to do a great job.
Hey, send me your golf swing, my friend.
Send me some golf balls, will you?
First down and 10 now for Kenny Kelly. And the Hurricane attack. Kelly, with the whistle sound, he didn't get it off.
Good ball. Full start by the offense. 5 yards.
You know, I said, Dan, that there's a big difference here as we take a look first at the quarterback comparison. Take us through that, my friend.
Well, obviously, Kelly's having a great day, but the big thing, though, along with these 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles. He take better care of the ball, but he is ahead.
23-12. Offsets Fulcher. Tosses Jackson. Jackson turns it back and dives to the 60-yard. I was going to say, you know, at the top of the show, we said big difference between college and pro football. No preseason games. I see many more yellow flags on that suggest that they play 1 or 2 in the college game.
Well, I know a lot of people enjoy the college game more than the pro game, and I think the big reason, especially with the Bowl Championship Series now, is the importance of every game.
Isn't that the truth? Strength of schedule, losses, the whole package. You try to become a player in January. Kelly snaps one badly thrown. And, of course, ESPN with a good Thursday night game. Dan, we did that one on ABC, Oregon and Michigan State, and they're in for a good game, I guess. Does Oregon have a quarterback yet?
Well, it's between Harrington and Feely out there at Oregon, and the big thing for Michigan State is I think they're looking for just a tad bit of revenge as the Ducks smoked them last year.
So that'll be your Thursday night college football. 3rd down and 14. Kelly sets the screen, and Jackson buried at the 10-yard line. Berry.
Great play by Gary Berry as he was coming on the safety blitz. Couldn't get to the quarterback. Saw what Kelly wanted to do. Here he is, number 1. Watch him come up here, get caught up, and then realize it's a screen pass, and then get out there and drill the receiver.
Left foot across him, just gets it off. And Nate Clements makes the fair catch at the 49-yard line. Miami leads, but they've not been overwhelming here in the second half. Timeout.
Hey, Buckman. Follow us. Come on.
Like I'm gonna fall for that old trick.
Not so good.
All 4 barricades, huh?
Step up. Learn to see farther.
Learn there are teachers who won't allow you to fail. Learn to dance, to draw. Learn that the real challenge doesn't come from the outside, but from within. And that there's more to you than you ever knew. Be all you can be.
Over the years, a lot of businesses have put their names on one line of trucks. The one that offers the most powerful V10. The one that was first to offer quad cab versatility. And the longest lasting full-size pickup on the road. We understand this name thing. We're pretty fussy about what we put ours on, too. Now get a $1,000 cash allowance on Dodge Ram during the Dodge Summer Clearance.
The Buckeyes with the first down, and Michael Wiley at running back because of the injury suffered by Jonathan Wells. Kenyon Rambo been shut out here today. Muckerman fires middle, grab, beautiful catch at the 25-yard line. Steve Wisniewski, who caught a touchdown pass in the first half, makes a snag for 25 yards.
And Wisniewski caught 3 passes all year long last year. He's got the touchdown earlier. This is a great catch and a perfect throw. As Mockerman saw that Webster had his back to him, he could put the ball right over his shoulder.
Wiley spins, but nothing doing. Webster got to him first. So Wells trying to work off the pain of that injury, and I think you could see that he didn't look too strong on that sidestep. Second down and 9. Earlier today, the Canes lost their outstanding free safety, Al Blaze. Wiley ambushed at the point of attack. Michael Burrow, a senior defensive lineman, and he has played an outstanding game for Miami. Miami leads Ohio State 23-12. With Dan Fouts, I'm Brent Musburger. This is the 17th Kickoff Classic, but the first one to ever be played on grass, which the Giants and the Jets have used for their preseason, but which sits atop the artificial turf. And this grass will be removed prior to the start of the NFL season. Mockerman in trouble. Sacked at the 40-yard line by Damian Lewis.
The 2 big studs for Miami on that defensive line, Michael Burrow and Damian Lewis, line up side by side, and now it's back-to-back plays for the 2. Left side of the screen, nice little twist move there as Lewis and Burrow. It was a good bit of teamwork there to get the sack on Mockerman and push Ohio State out of any possible field goal range try by Stoltz.
Let's take a break. Prior to this, an ABC Sports presentation of college football returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Well, Miami and Ohio State are facing one another for only the second time in history. The Buckeyes won the only other game 10-0. That was back in 1977 in Columbus, Ohio. And now with 15 minutes to go, the Canes hold a 23-12 lead. Their special teams have been just that under Butch Davis. Special. The kicker, not wanting anything to give him a chance down there. There was no chance they were going to come after him. Santana Moss makes the fair catch down around the 11-yard line, and they will be very content to take over the ball and see now if they can pound away and take some time off.
And you know, special teams are tough early in the season. 4 fair catches, very disciplined special teams play by Butch Davis's Canes.
We'll take a break. Be right back. Indians lead it. 14:54 to go. They've got the ball coming out from the 11-yard line. Santana Moss has been shut out this half, but still he's made 2 huge catches for 117 yards and a touchdown. Fulcher, the H-back. Jackson to that side, to the 13. Gary Berry makes the tackle.
Well, Miami's had trouble on offense here in the second half, just as Ohio State has. But this is the worst field position, starting up, backed up to start the fourth quarter. If Ohio State's going to win this ball game, this is a crucial set of downs on defense.
2nd and 8. Wayne stretches out to the left-hand side. Plummer takes him one-on-one. Now Plummer softens up. Kelly underneath, incomplete. The fullback, Will McPartland, the intended receiver, and linebacker Jason Ott right there defensively. Andre King dashes in from the sideline. Play signaled into Kelly. Here's 3rd and 8. Kelly complete. Bubba Franks. First down, Miami.
Bubba Franks may be the best tight end in the nation. He is a complete player. Here he is on the side here, down into the corner, and Kelly really throws a nice soft pass that the big tight end can see and adjust to. Look at that athletic ability at 6'6", 260.
When you got a good tight end, H-back, use it.
That's what Winslow always told me.
Jackson splits the seam to the 31-yard line.
Going back to that 3rd down play, Brent, they haven't been doing very well converting on 3rd down, and it's very, very difficult when you're backed up to do that. And you hit it right when you said get it to your tight end, because with the big body there, they're going to be playing man-to-man. It was 3rd down and short. They were pressing the line of scrimmage. Just an excellent play by Kenny Kelly and the big tight end Franks.
2nd and 1. The big back end. Davenport. Use him. Pounds for the first down. Outstanding play calling right now. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chevy S10, like a rock. State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. National Car Rental, so what are you waiting for? Let's go. And Ameritrade, the way to trade, period.
Now, Brent, you lose a great back like Edgerrin James, and to a man, everybody on this Miami team said, we're in good shape. We've got James Jackson. We got Najee Davenport. Davenport made a nice move that time to get away from Clements and get extra yardage and the first down.
Here comes Davenport behind McPartland. On a little bit of a seam and made his way to the 44-yard line. Buckeyes, of course, trying to stop that clock at every opportunity, and by getting him out of bounds, they do. 12:26 left here in the fourth quarter. Buckeyes trail this one 23-12.
Well, you look at both teams. Again, Ohio State appears to be wearing down more than Miami. That time, big left guard Rich Mercier got out in front and nailed Niall Diggs.
2nd and 5 for Kelly and the Canes. First down, Davenport to the 33-yard line, with Berry bringing him down, but the bigger of the two backs bolts for 23 yards.
And he's got a little shake at the end. He can make guys miss. Watch Niall Diggs, 32 here. He gets blocked by Bubba Franks. He's no factor. I love this move right there as he gets away from Donnie Nicky and gets extra yardage, pulling Gary Berry in the secondary.
29-yard line. And a reminder that if time permits, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. We might get a word or two from Johnny Terry.
I'm sure Terry's got to be impressed with Miami's ability to play Big Ten football. This drive has been all Davenport, and it's been all behind that offensive line. Remember, they started backed up inside their own 10.
Now they give Davenport a little bit of a breather, and they bring James Jackson back in to that tailback spot. And the ball to him. Short side, Buxton forced him out of bounds, but not before he picked up 4 yards. Jason Ott, the linebacker, and the clock is stopped with 11 minutes to go.
Canes really like that left side of their offensive line behind Robert Hall and Rich Mercier, and you put the big tight end over there, Bubba Franks. They're getting some things done over there.
Here's 3rd down and 1. Canes want the first down, and they want to keep that clock moving. Might just use 2 downs down in here to do it, too. Jackson. Close. Got it. First down. Only needed 1 to turn the trick. This is a huge game for Butch Davis. Miami fans, players, the followers, they've waited to come into a season with a lot of optimism.
Ohio State, excuse me, Brett, Ohio State's got to be aware of Kenny Kelly right now. They've been running the ball well. Watch for him on a rollout.
We got a timeout. Got a timeout called by Kelly. He's going to come on over the sideline and talk about it. Impressive drive, their best of the second half. We'll be right back.
I'm going to raise you. Fold. Too rich for me.
Not fold.
Call. A couple of things to remember. 1, a full house always beats 3 of a kind. And 2, the new Chevy Silverado has the most powerful V8 of any pickup. Chevy Silverado. It's the truck.
Shut up.
This is Propecia, a pill that might interest you. Talk to your doctor. And call 1-888-5-MERC-9 to see if you're eligible for a $10 rebate certificate. Propecia. There's no reason to wait.
Emerald Club members get this free officially licensed NFL sports bag with your first rental from National in September.
Nice game, Bear.
If you're not a member, join for half price.
Good game, Bear.
And still get this NFL sports bag free. It's perfect for all the important things a player needs to carry.
Nice bear, Mr. Bear.
Emerald Club members get this free NFL sports bag in September and rent twice for 2 days or longer and get a certificate for another day free. The more you rent, the more you earn. National Car Rental, the official car rental company of the NFL.
Teddy bear not included. My dentist says this gum is working, cleaning dirty plaque.
Gets teeth whiter, too.
Whiter teeth, kissable breath. Great tasting Arm & Hammer gum with baking soda. Cleans teeth and reduces plaque up to 25%. Arm & Hammer gum. Toothpaste style.
Eagle One A to Z wheel cleaner removes stubborn brake dust easily. And Eagle One Wet Tire Shine applies a clear high gloss shine instantly. But why does NASCAR winner Mark Martin use premium Eagle One products exclusively?
When you're in the spotlight, you always want to look your best.
Eagle One A to Z wheel cleaner and Eagle One Wet Tire Shine for the perfect finish. Eagle One, are you ready for the attention?
Discover Dharma, the athlete.
Yeah.
First you spike it, then you do a dance.
Hips.
There you go.
Discover Dharma and Greg Tuesdays on ABC.
There's a problem here with Kenny Kelly cramping up, Dan, and it was painful just to watch him coming back to the huddle.
Well, that's why they called the timeout. He's got a problem with his left leg, probably a cramp in his calf. So he may not be running that rollout.
He may be handing it off here on 1st and 10. Jackson stretches it out, stays in bounds. But you know, Kelly, of course, playing minor league baseball with Tampa Bay Devil Rays organization. And Dan asked him, now, is it better to throw a touchdown pass for the Canes or hit a home run? Here's what he said.
I think it's, you know, in minor league baseball that I play, I think is you know, you hit a home run, I think it's good, but, you know, I think throwing a touchdown pass against a powerhouse like Ohio State or Florida State is a lot better than hitting a home run.
So he liked that one to Santana. Of course, I didn't want to tell you that later. He only hit 3 home runs this year. Should have some stolen bases. 2nd down and 12. Here's Najee Davenport pounding for daylight and breaking free. Puts beautifully to the 12-yard line. A powerful run by Najee Davenport.
Brent, I don't think I've ever seen so many missed tackles by Ohio State. In the secondary, they're missing a lot, but that time it was middle linebacker Jason Ott who had Davenport right at the line of scrimmage.
I think we should also point out that a professional scout who had seen Miami and a friend of John Cooper's came up to tell him that any of his running backs would be the 3rd best running back at Miami. In other words, both Jackson and Davenport impressed him that much now that he watched him work out.
And I don't think Cooper believed him at the time.
Not at all.
He may believe him now.
3rd down and 1. Davenport, the big fella. Here he comes. 1st down. Maybe. Let's see where they spot it. They gave it to him.
Well, he earned it too, Brent. You know, that offensive line, we saw how well they were blocking to the left side. Now the last couple of times they're going to the right side of that offensive line behind Gonzalez. Again, they kind of load up with the tight ends over there. This is a 235-pound back drilling defensive backs.
Remember now, this drive started at the Miami 11-yard line. But behind Hall, Mercier, Wise, Bibla, and Gonzalez, they have driven down to the Buckeye 11 with 8:14. That time the Buckeyes get on him. And of course, next Saturday, reminder here on ABC, we've got a doubleheader for you. Regional coverage early at 12 Eastern. Nebraska, Iowa, Stanford, Texas, Virginia, North Carolina on the ACC. Then at 3:30, we'll go to the Big House, and you'll see the A-Train, Anthony Thomas, and Michigan against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And isn't Michigan happy with Notre Dame for scheduling that game against Kansas?
I heard something about a gentleman's agreement. That's an oxymoron in college football, isn't it?
You got that right. 2nd down at 11. Jackson's turn. Stretches it out. And he's finally forced out of bounds. Stops the clock inside the 10-yard line with 7:26 to go.
They're getting it done on the ground, too. Davenport and Jackson, just a great 1-2 punch. How do you replace one guy? I use 2.
Dean Blevins.
Yes, Scott McGonigal, the trainer at Miami, says cramps. They expect it to be fine. He says they practice in this hot, humid weather all the time.
And the trainer doesn't have the cramps either, so everybody should be fine.
We're going to have another timeout. Kenny walked up the line of scrimmage, and he'll bring it on over to the sideline. We'll take a break. Miami's in charge of Ohio State.
Ponder this. What makes Chili's awesome blossom so awesome? It is chopped, battered, and the rest is top secret because only Chili's has mastered the art of the onion.
Meet Boone Tidwell, bounty hunter. Knows crime doesn't pay, knows Chevy S10 does. Standard 4-wheel anti-lock brakes on every model. Plus more interior room and a bigger bed than Ford Ranger. It's what IntelliChoice calls a best overall value. It's what Boone calls His best catch yet. Chevy S10. Like a rock.
Don't get me started on stockbrokers. I had one for the better part of 10 years. Let me tell you something. The only one who was broker was me. With Ameritrade, it's so simple. I sit down at my computer, a couple of clicks, and I can see for myself. $8 a trade. My stockbroker says you're going to hate online trading. You can add that to the long list of things he was wrong about.
Call toll-free 888-763-0088 or visit Ameritrade.com. Ameritrade, the way to trade, period.
Chili's technical support. How would you eat these new Chili's lettuce wrap appetizers? Just pick up the lettuce, add grilled Asian spiced chicken and sauce, fold and eat. That sounds great. Doesn't it, though?
Here at the Kickoff Classic in New Jersey, Miami leading Ohio State 23-12. 7:26 to go. Miami has taken off more than 7 minutes from the clock here on this fourth quarter drive. And it is the Buckeyes who have been back on their heels here. This is the team that was supposed to have the deeper defensive line. But this quick offensive line of the Hurricanes doing the job. They bring Kenny Kelly up on this third down. Jackson, Kelly to throw. Got Santanamas for the first time, but nothing doing on that play as he's out of bounds at the 10, so he actually loses yardage on that play.
That's just the third pass on this drive. 16th play, so the strength and conditioning of the Miami Hurricanes offensive line really doing the job.
Andy Crossland. He missed 127-yarder at the other end back in the second quarter. This is a 27-yarder. Missed it too. 7:15 to go. The Buckeyes with a life. But they'll have to hurry.
Oh, the agony some minivans put us through. Not Chevy Venture. It adapts to just about any situation. Chevy Venture offers more rear cargo room than Dodge Grand Caravan and easy flip and fold seats for even more room, which leaves you more time to enjoy life. And others room for improvement. Chevy Venture. Let's go. Get a '99 Chevy Venture for 0% APR financing or $1,500 cash back. See your Chevy dealer today.
As a child, she not only played with the big boys, she usually beat them at their own game. And from the golf course to the tennis court, the diving board to collegiate track and field, Babe Didrikson Zaharias became the world's greatest woman athlete. She opened the doors and leveled the playing field by showing us it's not always the best man who wins. State Farm salutes life heroes because State Farm understands life.
At Burger King, we're always trying to make have it your way better. Like this idea for a win your way college football game.
You got 4 tries!
Run back a kickoff and win great prizes. Then we thought, why not just scratch and win? This week, Michigan and Notre Dame face off, and you could win $1 million, a Toyota RAV4, or the best tasting prize of all, a delicious Whopper. Burger King. When you have it your way, it just tastes better.
Go Irish! Michigan! We can't miss that game. We'll be there, don't worry.
We are back at the Meadowlands, and you would have to think if the Buckeyes are to come back, remember they need a touchdown, a 2, and a field goal. Kenyon Rambo, number 4, has got to step into this offense. It's a goose egg for number 4. He is off to Austin Mockerman's right. Germany's at the top. Mockerman looks in that direction, but there's a penalty flag thrown by the line judge, and now I believe the referee came in. I don't know if there was a late hit. I saw the first flag come early. Well, he said he's got a false start. I can read his lips on that.
Yeah, that would kill the play. So that's why Mockerman got hit in the back, because Tyson Walter heard the whistle.
That's the second time that
that's a tough call against Miami.
Very tough.
Because the defensive end, Burrow, coming on the pass rush, may have not have heard the whistle, just doing his job.
Full start on the offense. We have a dead ball, personal foul on the defense. That's 15 yards for first down.
Lockerman pulls out a little bit early. I think that gets the flag, and now Burrow's just coming on with a free shot on the quarterback. And maybe it was that extra right hand on the back of Mockerman's head that got the flag. No question. Good call.
First down and 10. Mockerman complete to Germany. Midfield and into King territory. The clock now, you can watch it. The upper left. Going to be critical. Remember, it stops in the college game, unlike the pros, after a first down. Gives the Bucks a few more very important seconds. They trail it by 11, so they need a touchdown, a 2, and a field goal.
And they're going to have to go with a more hurry-up offense. This is something Mockerman is not all that experienced at.
Robert, the third wide out. Here's Wiley. Kenyon Rambo finally makes his first catch of the game. Number 4, Kenyon Rambo with his first reception.
Well, for Ohio State today, they quite haven't solved this Miami defense. The big time of possession problem for Ohio State. When's the last time they were on the short end of that stat?
So now Rambo goes out to the left. Mockerman comes back to Germany. Germany forced out of bounds. Stops the clock inside the 35-yard line. Dan Morgan. 6:29 for Cooper.
Brent, stopping the clock is really the key for Ohio State. They can catch their breath a little bit. They can also make sure that Mockerman knows exactly what he's supposed to do on the play that's called from the sideline.
Wiley and Keller split backs in the backfield. Short side of the field is Germany, and Mockerman looks for him. Bad pass, intercepted. Germany had not turned around. I do see a penalty flag down on the field, but the ball was picked off by Leonard Myers, the junior corner out of Fort Lauderdale.
This one may be coming back. Nate Webster came on a blitz and just drilled Mockerman.
On the offense, that penalty is refused.
That's it, Myers interception.
And not a good job of holding either, because Mockerman gets drilled by number 52 right up the middle. That's why this ball is intercepted. Again, great footwork by a defensive back. Here's number 52, and this is a quarterback's nightmare. A totally unblocked linebacker. Mockerman saw him coming. That's why he rushed the throw.
They split the backs that time and sent Keller out, and there was no protection back there. And James Jackson checks in at tailback for the Canes, who can bring down the clock now and close in on this upset. And in case you just joined us, Miami, an underdog from the Big East, is upsetting Ohio State. A lot of folks thought the Buckeyes could do the job after Penn State's impressive opener a day ago, but before a crowd in excess of 70,000 here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It is the Miami Hurricanes who have taken a huge step back behind their sophomore quarterback, Kitty Kelly. 5:45 to go, and it is 23-12. Incomplete. Third down now for the Canes. Danny, what's your feeling about Kelly, watching him?
Well, the first thing that jumps out is his just beautiful athletic ability, but I've been more impressed with his ability to run the team. coming off the 11-yard line and coming down the field, even though they didn't get the field goal, they took so much time off the clock and wore down Ohio State. Ohio State right now, they're desperate to get the ball back. I don't think they have the ability to do it because they're so tired.
3rd and 8. Oh, Bubba Franks. Oh, give me that NFL contract right now. Are you kidding me?
Great catch by Bubba, but a fine touch pass by Kelly.
Watch this hand.
Now, in the old days, they called those things meat hooks, didn't they,
wow.
Brent? Beautiful.
Now that's a Bubba.
Affectionately called by his head coach.
By his coaches. All of them.
His name is Daniel, if you're wondering.
15 more yards for Bubba. Jackson surrounded at the 40. Joe Cooper is there. It is back to the drawing board for the Ohio State defense, regardless of what happens the rest of the way in this one, Dan.
Well, you just don't replace Andy Katzenmoyer, Antoine Winfield, Damon Moore, and Jerry Rudzinski just like that. And then have the suspension of Cortland Bullard and the academic problems of Chris Kirk. There's too much to overcome against a quality opponent like Miami.
Said about the BCS alignment. A loss here in August, which is critical as one in November, and Davenport finally brought down by Barry. Well, we've had some unique views offered by the Goodyear Blimp. Overhead today, the Goodyear Blimp Spirit of Akron, and the Spirit has come all the way from Ohio to provide aerial views. Probably some disappointed Buckeye fans up there for controls. But this could not be better for Miami and Hurricane fans, because when you look down the road, there's a little happening with Penn State in South Florida. And Davenport cramping up a little bit. We'll check that schedule. But Miami closing in on an upset, 23-12. Timeout.
Hey, Rodney. How's the market treating you? Too bloody heavy with internet stocks, mate. Got to diversify. Yeah? Yeah. Check out Tyco. How's that? Tyco International. Security, healthcare, electronics. Cracking performer, mate. Symbol's TYC. And what do I rate this generosity? Just trying to help an old mate retire gracefully. Oh, you bloody mongrel.
Do you know?
As an architect, I think if it can be imagined, it can be built. Dell has the same philosophy. Only they didn't just imagine what we needed. They found out. Before they built our servers and workstations and had them installed, they came to see us around the world. Dell pioneered this direct way. They aren't selling me a box. They're selling a smarter way.
Be direct. Dell. Dell workstations use Intel Pentium 3 processors.
Tahoe, like a rock.
Well, there it is, Dan, and you can circle. There are two huge games coming up.
Well, it's a big circle, but the reason I did that is because it's smart scheduling. You got that one there against Penn State, and then that one there against Florida State. But if you look in between there's a week off to prepare for both those powerhouses. How was that for a cover?
That was great. I was wondering how you're going to get out of that one. 3rd and 7. I'm sitting there kind of chuckling myself. 3:50 to go. Play fake Jackson. Kelly to put it up. And why not go back to Franks? What a horse he is. Bucks his way to the 49-yard line. And Kelly with that cramp problem. He Gimpen when he gets up this time.
real happy to see the punt team come out on the field.
There's their backup, Ken Dorsey. He is a freshman who has not been redshirted. Another reminder that next Sunday on ABC, rookie sensation Juan Montoya has the lead in the points race. Can he be stopped? The kart race heats up in the Molson Indy Vancouver. Live at 4 Eastern on ABC Sports. You've been up to Vancouver?
Oh, absolutely,
my friend, huh?
It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Great Northwest.
There's one of the great skylines of the world over there. Manhattan across the river, here from East Rutherford, New Jersey.
You know, for a minute there, I thought that was Sisters, Oregon. So long since I've been home.
I know it wasn't Big Timber, Montana, my friend. I looked at it. 4th down and 3. Crossland, Clemens. Going in the end zone. Clock stop. 3:33. And the Bucks are just about to run out of time here. They need a long strike, ball back, field goal, 2-point conversion. Austin trying to do something here against a Kane team that has been very impressive.
And unfortunately for Mockerman, he only has 2 timeouts to deal with.
Rambo off to his right, Germany to the left. Mockerman steps away from trouble, won't go far. Down at the 22-yard line, this protection breaks down with Matt Sweeney, the senior tackle. Let's check in now with Dean Blevins. Dean.
Brent, Najee Davenport behind me, they're working on his right knee. Scott McGonigal tells me they don't know the degree to which he is injured right now, but that's the problem. And, you know, he's a stallion, much like on the other side, you have Jonathan Wells, who went out with the ankle injury. These are 2 big, strong backs, both of them down.
Rambo at the 30-yard line, and a penalty flag comes flying. There is Wells coming back onto the field. Davenport on the other side. Well, the Bucks have outrushed Miami today, unofficially 120 yards to 75 yards, but it hasn't been a thing. Myers, who made that very critical interception down here, helped up.
Looks like he's got cramp problems as well. And what a treat for these players to be able to play on the natural surface here, grass surface at Giant Stadium, and I sure hope that they make this a permanent situation here. It's a great stadium. Remember, you look at that 72 yards by Michael Wiley. He got 69 of it in one carry.
Incomplete at the 30. 3rd down. Mockerman in the box. Germany, the intended receiver. Got a moment prior to 3rd down. I want to thank some folks, the coordinating producer of ABC's college football and the producer of the game, Bob Goodrich. Directed by Drew Esikoff, who was over at the Little League World Series all last week. Our TD, Doug Schmidt. Associate producers, Patrick McManus and Mitch Green. Nice to have them along. The associate director, Brian Gordon. Our production manager, Lynn Cadden. And here comes our 3rd and 13. Miami turns him out again, short of the 1st down. That was Mike Rumpf.
Man, was he coming too. Number 8. You know, he's playing with a bad thumb. Broke his thumb. His right hand. There you see the cast. He was trying to break something in young Austin Mockerman's body.
2.5 minutes. fella. Get him a couple of blocks. Is there a flag on that last one?
Nope.
Moss dances back. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
A wild for the...
And Cooper's still debating that particular block as he follows Michael Smith over to the sideline, and Smith wisely just kept walking away from him.
He had help walking away, too, from that guy.
Butch says, throw your arms up like that, and they'll never know you're coming from the side. Did you see Butch give a little coaching down there?
Well, that's it.
During the return by the return team, 10 yards, first down.
You know, that's what Butch loves to do, is coach those special teams. But Santana Moss, he said, the heck with all those fair catches I'm doing all day, 4 of them. He's trying to show off his unique abilities at one more time. Let's check it out. Gets a couple of good blocks. This one here is legal. That's by Myers. But this one coming up by Michael Smith is in the back and illegal. Good call.
First and 10. Kelly backed up. 32. Long handoff now to Jackson, and James cuts back nicely. 35-yard line, and the Chevrolet most valuable players of this game who saw the young man dancing with that punt, Santana Moss from Miami, and Gary Berry unofficially had 14 tackles the last time we checked over there. The Chevy donation we made to each school's Journal Scholarship Fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. It's been a Chevrolet tradition for more than a quarter of a century. You go back to Santana Moss, I think he authored the biggest play of the game. That was late in the half. Bucks were trailing. It was a 67-yard play. Santana catching the ball and pulling away from the entire Ohio State defense. No one getting on him. Jackson cuts back into the hole. One thing when you watch Jackson, he's a very intelligent runner. He wants to keep the clock running. He's always cutting back to the field. Cut back to the field.
Well, he learned that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. From the backfield to the goal line, he likes to hit it straight up the middle.
Well, next Saturday, the lineup, and there's the regional coverage. Many of you will see Nebraska, Iowa, Stanford, Texas, Virginia, North Carolina. Then we will take you to the big house in Ann Arbor. We'll see if the aid train can do a number against Jarius Jackson. And didn't Jarius have a nice run yesterday against Kansas in the first quarter of that game? It's a big one. Notre Dame and Michigan. Brian Mobilson, our spotter, is working on it already, being a Michigan grad.
And you know what's fun is you get the numbers where they're ranked now, and here we are, first weekend of the season, and we're already wondering how far will Notre Dame climb, how far will Arizona drop, how far will Ohio State drop. This is great.
Well, one thing is for sure, and that is that Miami will be ranked in the top 10 next week. Okay, make no mistake about that. I think they came in 12th, did I see, on the ranking list. Of course, the big rankings will be coming out in October. That's when the BCS poll starts to make its impact. And the coach's son, number 46, Freddie Puckage, freshman, checks in here to play a little linebacker against the Canes. Trying to get over there and help out on that tackle. He was scrambling that time. So Miami. There he is, number 46, fine high school player. A lot to learn as a freshman, and that's the point I think to make about this Ohio State team. A lot to learn, and Dad will have a couple of sleepless nights this week.
I thought it was interesting in talking to Fred Puckage Sr. about not only his son, but the other young linebackers. He said we may have to throw them into the fire. That's not easy to do when you're talking about your own son.
Well, we've talked about the Canes and that big one against Penn State coming up down in South Florida. But look at this. UCLA coming in for a night game into the Horseshoe. I think a couple of breathers. And incidentally, that UCLA game, I'm reminded by Bob, is ABC coverage. I think we've got split national that night. Good game. We got Wisconsin's tough. Purdue is tough. They got to go into Happy Valley on October 16th. They're going to have to learn in a hurry.
And they have 5 home games after today. That's very unusual.
Well, that will help a little bit, too, won't it?
Especially the development of all these young players, quarterbacks included.
They're going to stay in New York an extra day, see some of the sights, travel around the town a bit. John Cooper scheduled to throw out the first ball at Yankee Stadium. They come after this punt. Crossland goes down. The referee says no problem with that. Wave it off, so there's no penalty. And we come down to the final minute here. How surprised are you, Dan, about this?
I am really shocked, Brent. Again, in talking to the two teams, normally you have one team that's very confident. They expect to win. The other team, they have some confidence, but they're talking about hoping to win. And that was the case leading up to this game as we talked with both teams. Ohio State, I'm sure they're shocked more than I am, because they really thought that they would come in here and win this ballgame. And the confidence boost that this will give Miami is immeasurable.
You send 11 fellows to NFL training camps, and you got your work cut out and replace them. That would be the lead as far as I'm concerned about this Ohio State team. They'll show a lot of improvement between now and when the conference gets started. I would be shocked if they didn't.
Well, they have a great tradition, and again, you look at that schedule, very favorable in the next 5 weeks. Gets a little bit tougher, though, and they have to go to Penn State and Michigan to end the season.
But on the other side, Miami, after that debacle in Syracuse, I can't say enough about the coaching job done by Butch Davis and his staff down there. They come back, stun UCLA. Then they beat a good North Carolina State team in their bowl game. Let's not overlook that. They come in here as an underdog, and they walk away with an upset. And you know what? They've handled themselves well, too. In talking to them and all the interviews we did with the team and at practice, there's a difference in the way this team's handling itself.
Well, you got to give Butch Davis a lot of credit for that. Santana Moss was telling us yesterday about the tradition of Miami. And yes, it is great, and we will pay tribute to that tradition, but we are a new team. We've got the swagger, but we don't talk as much, at least not yet. They may talk just a little bit after this one. They've earned it.
It's a shame. I hope Blaze is not going to be golf. Here's Mockerman. And Dean Blevins, I know that you've known Butch for a long time. What's your feeling about this?
Well, I think that he has speed. You know, 2 years ago, I had this game, and it was Wisconsin favored over a speedy Syracuse team. Speed won that game 34-0. Here today, the faster Miami team is going to upset the bigger Ohio State team.
Yep, final 30 seconds. And again, a reminder, this is their first opening game loss since '86 here in the Kickoff Classic, and they were beaten by Alabama. That was our Aflac trivia question. And John Cooper finally going to lose a season opener. Do you think the quarterback question is settled at Columbus?
Well, I think it is. I think Mockerman has played as well as to be expected. Belisari was very unimpressive with the turnover on the fumble from the center exchange, and then, of course, that lateral that went out of bounds. But Mockerman just looks more polished as far as the way he handles himself in the pocket and the way that he runs this offense.
You know, one of the Miami fans just yelled at me, it's this year's Kansas State. And, you know, maybe they are. We're going to have a sleeper and a team make a move. And you know what else he yelled? We want Penn State. They're coming.
I'll put him on the microphone if you want, Brent. It's awful close to us here. We got security up here, please.
Oh, these are my guys.
You got them everywhere.
Well, a reminder to stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. And ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com. They're part of the Go Network. As it comes to an end, Miami 23, Ohio State 12. Superb coaching job by that gentleman right there. And the swagger returns.